This is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man. How the heck are you? It is the Monty Show. Oh, dude, I'm going through it right now. Oh, man, I am going through it. Feeling it. Jake got the entire household sick.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Hundo P, it's your fault. Good morning, friends. Hope you are all well. We have Powerball tickets for you this morning right here on the Monty Show. All you have to do is come by the Maverick Center, walk up the stairs in front of the Maverick Center by the big hockey statue. Our fine Philly Mrs. Monty will be waiting for you and hand you a Powerball ticket that could be worth $1.2 billion. How much do you daydream about winning the Powerball?
A lot. I mean, I think it would be awesome, obviously. Like, it would be life-changing.
You do?
Yeah.
I dream about it all the time.
I mean, it would be, I mean, just imagine you wake up and you're a billionaire.
But you're the guy who also won't spend his own money to get that ticket.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, the odds are not in your favor, but, it's...
But
it's,
you
it's
won't. You
the chicken or
dream
the
about
egg
that,
thing.
but you
It's
won't
the
yet.
chicken or the egg
You
thing.
won't do it.
Yeah, it's the chicken or the egg thing. You know?
Okay. Yeah, you can't have the egg without the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have it without spending the money. And
you refuse to spend the money.
And
That's fine.
If you spend the money, you're probably never going to get it. Like,
it is what it is. All I'm telling you is if you want a free Powerball ticket, come by the Maverick Center. Just pull up right in front. There's a bunch of stairs right in front of the Maverick Center. All you have to do is walk up. Top right corner, there's a door. Mrs. Monty will be standing there waiting for you with free Powerball tickets. Hope to see you guys. Would you quit working? What would you do?
No, I mean, we wouldn't stop doing the show. I mean, I think that,
if you win and I don't, do you give me any of the money?
Yes, of course.
You don't? Really?
Yes, I do.
You just screw me out of it.
I said, yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I would give, obviously.
Okay. Are you a quick pick guy or do you have your own numbers?
I'm not that deep into it.
So you're just a quick pick guy?
Yeah, probably.
No, I have my own numbers, man. I have my own numbers, and I probably would take a break, but I would not stop working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you have to, like, working is what we do. I feel like if you stop working, your life just gets derailed on some level.
Yeah, there you go. BB says, but if you can get assets long-term, he's already talking hoops this morning. Already talking hoops.
Yeah.
Salty Drunk says, morning, guys, and Super Soaker. What's up? Mark Hales says, hey, guys, good morning.
Uh-huh.
Good morning to all of you. Jerem Patterson says, if I win, you each get $1 million.
Let's go, baby.
Okay, good luck, Jerem.
Hey,
we want you to win.
Yeah, we want you to win.
We want you to win.
We want you to win. That's right.
Absolutely, we want you to win. So we hope you do win. All right, we have a big show, as always, presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Again, if you've been in a wreck, if you got hurt at work, no matter what your situation is, if you've been injured, you should call the Advocates. Get in touch with them. It's super easy. Go to UtahAdvocates.com. You can actually chat with the Advocates online for free. And while I'm mentioning for free, by the way, I think you probably know this already, but you never pay the Advocates up front. There are no big retainers. There are no big deposits. You don't pay consultation fees. No, you don't pay the Advocates until and unless they win your case at UtahAdvocates.com. And I think the biggest story in sports this morning, Jake, is this situation with the Utah Jazz. And what I find so interesting is the Jazz are in Dallas tonight. Dallas is favored by 6 on a 221 number. But what I find so interesting is the rumors are hot and heavy that the Utah Jazz are, open for business or at least taking calls on their veterans, including Mike Conley, Malik Beasley, Jordan Clarkson. So should the Jazz be buyers or sellers right now?
Yeah, I think for the Utah Jazz, like I think, should they be buyers or sellers? I mean, obviously, I think you need to be whatever it is you need to be to build this roster, and yeah, obviously some of that is going to be selling. I think some of that is going to be, excuse me, making adjustments and and doing what you need to do to create a roster that can win in the playoffs. Because I think what you're seeing now is you're winning a lot of games through, work hard and hustle and and just kind of getting to spots before the other team does. And you're also making plays in the offensive end. But it does beg the question, like in a playoff series, a 7-gamer, what does this team look like? Because I do think you have to ask that question. And I do like what this team looks like against the Dallas Mavericks. I have to be honest with you. I do like what they look like against other teams. So I don't know that I'd be, just right off the top being like, yeah, we're going to trade Vando and Beasley and Mike and everybody. I wouldn't be in that kind of mindset. But I think that, yeah, you absolutely should be on the phone. I think you absolutely should be exploring your opportunities. And I think you have to see, because that's the trouble. You don't know what exactly people are willing to offer you. So that's why I think you have to take the call. You're not taking the call because you're just like, yeah, we got to trade Mike or we got to trade Malik. You're taking the call because you want to see what opportunities are out there. So are they buyers or sellers? Yeah, I think they're going to do some selling, but don't be surprised if within that selling, they add some guys that can really help them.
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't trade Jared Vanderbilt, in my opinion. I think he's too young. He's too raw. There's too much upside there. But, I would absolutely trade Jordan Clarkson. There's a lot of people who I saw on Twitter yesterday saying Jordan Clarkson should be a Jazz man for life, to which I say that's a bunch of hooey. If you can leverage Jordan Clarkson for first-round picks, you make that deal every day. I don't think there is such thing in this league anymore as Jazz man for life, like a one-franchise guy. I guess Steph Curry and Devin Booker are the closest things to that anymore. But I would not hesitate to trade Jordan. I would not hesitate to trade really any veteran on this team. I'm probably not trading Walker Kessler. I'm probably not trading, again, I personally would not trade Jared Vanderbilt, but any veteran on this team, absolutely. Rudy Gay, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, absolutely. I'm open for business on those guys.
Yeah, I think the tough part is that, Clarkson is showing this willingness to pass. Like, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but he's showing this willingness to kind of change his game a little bit, or not even really change his game, but just kind of add to it. I think Jordan has always been that guy where it's like, all right, you pass Jordan Clarkson the ball, it's not coming back to you. He's going to take that shot. And I think now that he's figured out that he can drive and kick and he can find open guys and make plays and be that guy for this team, it ups his value. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, it used to be that Jordan Clarkson was the guy you'd bring off the bench, and I still maintain that that's probably his role on a championship team. Like, if you put Jordan Clarkson on the Warriors, let's say, well, he's not going to start for the Warriors, obviously. He would be a 6-man scoring option coming off the bench. But I think every time that he comes out and starts for this Utah Jazz team and shows a willingness to pass and shows an ability to play within a system, his value goes up. So, yeah, I do think you have to take calls on him. I do think you have to consider moving him. But the last thing I think this team can do, because you've already, won a good share of games right out of the gate here, is make trades and become a worse team, because then you're going to find yourself in the middle. And that's what I think people are worried about, is like, hey, you've won, enough games where you're already behind the pace to be one of the worst teams in the league, right? You're ahead of that, if you will. Like, you've won too much to be one of the worst teams. So now if you go and trade all these guys and you lose a bunch of games, you're still not going to get the draft position that you want. That's what I think people are worried about.
Yeah, and I just don't. I guess I just view it differently. I think that all these guys are assets. I mean, it's that simple. You're not championship good now. As much as we've enjoyed this season starting like this, and you're 10 games in and everything's great. Like, you're not a championship contending team right now. So nobody on your roster is really somebody that should be the end of the world. And I just think if you're the Utah Jazz, you should be open for business on everybody, with some very minor exceptions. I think that you're closer than you thought you would be at this point to contention. So I would be, again, telling you, hey, that's cool. Let's knock this thing out of the park. Okay, make trades, get more assets. If you can get a better player and upgrade, I'm all for that as well. But hey, collect your assets and let the suckers be sold, right? trade those picks, get superstars in the summer, do what you have to do around the draft to make this team a contender. But I'm telling you now, if you're emotional about Jordan Clarkson, you're in the wrong spot, because that's not a guy you should be emotional about. This is a business, man, and Jordan Clarkson has value, and if you can get value for him, I would trade him.
Yeah,
it really is that simple.
Yeah, and I don't think you're wrong for that. And I think that, I guess at the end of the day, because you're not a championship caliber team right now, you have to be open to all things. I have to be honest. I think the Boyan trade, does that not bring some hesitancy around what future trades might be? Because it seemed like there are some people who would tell you that like the Boyan trade was just Danny spiting the Lakers. Like, hey, I don't want to give you Bogdanovich for basically one pick, so I'm going to trade him for nothing to the Pistons.
But I'm telling you, the Lakers and the Jazz are still talking. The Lakers and the Jazz are still talking, and I think the Lakers realize they have to do something, and it's not normal that you would do something in October. But I think the end of the month, early December, you could see trades start happening. I am as convinced now as I've been all summer long. The Jazz and the Lakers are going to make a significant deal. It's just a matter of who's going to come to the middle and make that trade happen. Now, are the Jazz going to acquire Russell Westbrook? Probably not. But my guess is that in some form or fashion that happens. And when you talk about Jordan Clarkson, the Lakers are absolutely a destination for Jordan Clarkson. That the Lakers would love to have him back. And look, I know that's probably frustrating to some Jazz fans, but this is a process you're in now. So we'll see about that. Let's get some of your thoughts in here. Kenai Johnson says, top of the morning, fellas, why not keep the team we have and then use our picks to trade for players? Because I think picks are not enough to get you players. And you need, my guess is that you'd want to leverage the picks you have to get a superstar. And I think you would want to improve that, but that's just my opinion. That's just me. BB says, I want them to trade the older guys, but only if they, one, are not making the young guys better or are taking minutes from young guys developing on the floor. You don't develop on the bench, never playing. Well, that's true, but who on that bench right now isn't getting enough minutes?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a guy that's not getting enough minutes. I think
there's no Jared Butler this year.
Yeah, I think people I think Walker Kessler's getting a fair amount of minutes. I think that there is a select group of fans in Jazz Nation that want a guy like Azubuike to get more minutes, and it's like, well, that's cool, but Azubuike hasn't really earned more minutes, and I think that Walker Kessler has shown you value. Straight up, has shown you value. So I guess I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am saying that there's not a guy on that bench right now that's not getting minutes that deserves them.
Brett Robbins says, today I woke up and had a good feeling you guys were not going to wear black.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's the brand.
Sorry to disappoint you.
I did wear a white polo shirt today, so if that counts.
BB says, if I win, I would be the only sponsor of the Monty Show.
Well,
there's something to that. San Diego State Aztec says, good morning, folks. Suns win and Cam Johnson on fire with 7 threes. Look, I can only espouse the greatness of the Phoenix Suns so often. And I can only tell you that Devin Booker, the sex machine, 2-3 combo guard last night, against your Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right, my Minnesota Timberwolves.
Had 18 points on 2 of 7 shooting from 3. Not a great night. But Cam was on fire. 7 of 11 from 3.
I'm for real.
Again, though, another awkward night for Rudy Gobert. 32 minutes, 7 points, 9 rebounds.
Come on, let's go, Schlep Rock.
Like, what's going on? I'm telling you, that situation with the T-Wolves is awkward.
It's just unchanged. And this is what was so amazing to me about what Danny did in this deal. It's not like Rudy Gobert is going to wake up and all of a sudden be this dynamic offensive force that is a true number 2 to hello.
Oh, is that you? Sorry.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, it's not like Rudy's going to wake up and be some crazy, dynamic force offensively. And this is exactly what you saw when he was with the Jazz. Like, again, it takes a bad night of shooting for Rudy to put up numbers. And we've been saying that on this show for 2 years, man. And it just continues to play itself out. And the bigger impact, I feel like, is not even just the stat sheet. I think, Rudy Gobert is obviously being paid a ton of money. And that when you get paid a ton of money in the league, like, you got to be an offensive player. It's not good enough anymore to just be this guy that runs up and down the floor and rebounds a little bit. Because that, on a lot of nights, is what Rudy is. Like, he may deflect some guys. He may alter some shots and do some things that don't show up in a stat sheet. But he's never going to be, 30, 10, and 10.
Well, he put up 7 points on 7 of 7 free throw shooting. 0 of 1. He took 1 shot last night.
Yeah.
But again, what have we been talking about on this show? It's awkward with Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns. Cat had 24 points last night, 18 shots, 3 of 3 from the stripe, 3 of 7 from 3, 10 boards, 7 assists. Like, filled up the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just telling you, unloading Rudy Gobert was one of the biggest wins in the history of the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
moving that contract.
Right,
yes,
totally the right decision. Totally, what you needed to do for a variety of reasons. Now, the Donovan thing, I don't love. I'm hoping that in the long term it works out. But the Rudy thing, I think, was a no-brainer.
Jesus Christ Destroys Marxism is on some run about how Adrian Watt, Janowski, and others who were reputable have constantly said the Jazz are super reluctant. I don't think I've ever heard Adrian Wojnarowski say super reluctant.
About what?
Trading Jordan Clarkson, I think. He's just like rolling. Monty's absolutely wrong on this subject. Watch and see. Danny isn't stupid, especially with the chemistry they're building. Will Hardy has used 56 different lineups already. He hasn't coached 56 games. That's been well documented. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, we'll see. Brett Robbins says Booker over Lillard. Yes, I would take age alone. I would take Devin Booker over Damian Lillard. Justin Salas says Clarkson can go in my books. The only untouchable right now would be Lauri, but that could change in the future. But even Lauri Markkanen, why is he banged around so much? Why has he moved teams so much? Well, because he's not that guy. He is a good player. He's not a great player. He's not an elite player. He is a guy that you can replace. And I think, hey, look, if he's your best player, you're probably not winning a championship.
Yeah.
If he's your second or third option, you're probably a pretty good team. I think, and that my opinion is unchanged. I think this team needs a superstar. That's all this team is waiting for. They need a superstar. And once that's acquired or emerges, I think you're going to see a very different team. Thamor says, I'm expecting the Nets exploding their team this season. So you think the Nets are going to blow it up? Okay. That works.
Man.
That works. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Brandon Whiteside says, about time you board the tank. I do not advocate for this team tanking in any way, shape, or form. And they're not.
Yeah, and that's not what we're saying.
No, not at all. Gage says, what about trading Mike and Malik to the Pacers for Miles Turner? I thought it was interesting the other day that Miles Turner went out of his way to say the Lakers should trade for him. Isn't that tampering?
Hey, guys.
Now, obviously, players can't get nailed for tampering, but he essentially said why the Lakers haven't made this trade, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. Eric Shiang says Simone Fontecchio needs more minutes. Azubuike is a bust and should be cut. Always injured. Yeah, Azubuike he's not an NBA body, though. Like, he isn't athletic enough. He's not,
Yeah.
He's just not that guy.
Yeah, and I think as far as Fontecchio is concerned, I look at him and I say he's probably, 15 minutes a night. You're hoping for 4 threes out of him, in his minutes. Like, that's what you're looking for. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know he hasn't obviously played a ton of games yet, but I think that he's working his way in.
Yep. Salty Drunk is upset that Patty Mills only played 10 minutes last night, Jake.
Uh-huh.
He says that the Nets are a mess and they should be playing Patty Mills. Please. Patty Mills is 73 years old, I think. Patty Mills is a role player. Are you really upset about Patty Mills playing 10 minutes, going 2 of 4 from 3 and scoring 9 points?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Patty has a role on the team, and I think the reason they brought him back is because he's a glue guy in the locker room, and I think that he's somebody that Kevin Durant really likes and wants to play with, and wants around, and I think. You can't get. All jokes aside, I don't know. Like I can look up Patty Mills' age. I obviously he's in his 30s. I just don't know.
He's 79
years old.
He's
34 years old. I mean,
Jake, he's 79 years old.
He's probably an AARP member at this point. He's probably got a walker, and he's living life.
He's 59 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
NY Monty fan says, we kind of need someone to be in a situation that makes them willing to give up a superstar for picks. The issue is, A, is anyone in that situation? B, is there anyone who we would be interested in? Not particularly. I mean, at this point, it's far too early. I mean, but who's the contender that's falling apart? Well, I mean, the Lakers, but they don't have anything you'd be interested in. I look at, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's too early to know who's what.
Yeah.
You're 10 games into the season, really. So, that to me, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Kenai Johnson says, okay, so then put everyone up, maybe except Lauri. He has been a beast all year so far, a real all-around player that you need in this league. Yeah, I mean, he would not be the first guy I would trade.
No.
Lauri Markkanen.
And I think if we're having a discussion about like the totem pole of like willingness on who you'd want to trade, I look at, I think Mike Conley this year has more value than he did last year for this team. I think he gets them into their offense. He obviously is mentoring Colin Sexton. He's got more value to this team this year than he did last year. So he's probably not high on the priority list to trade. His money feels a little more valuable right now. I look at, you look at a Malik Beasley. He's the guy that's going to be valuable to other contenders and other teams. He's the guy that I would think you'd be getting calls about. And unfortunately, I think that's a conversation you have to have because he's not somebody that's going to be here when you win a championship. And if you can get a pick or if you can get a pick and a player for him, I think you have to humor that conversation. Do I want to trade him? No. But I think that you can't be loyal to certain guys in the situation that you're in. You have to be dedicated to just kind of going through the process and building a championship team. And I would guess Danny's got a whole plan and a whole, he's got an idea of what he wants to do. So I'm sure he's got a totem pole of guys that he'd be willing to get rid of too. So that's what I'm saying. I just think that there's a plan. And I think that Danny knows what direction he'd like to go. And we're going to talk about the Nets situation a little later in the show. But I think that Nets situation obviously is going to impact a lot of what the league does, depending on just how sideways that goes.
Yeah, I don't know. You need to stop moving around. It makes the adjustment of the camera much more difficult.
Sorry.
You need to not move. Stay right there.
Yeah, sorry.
My
bad.
Jerk. The biggest stories in sports this morning presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. Our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. I'm telling you, man, the storm that's going to roll in here in the next 2 days, it is so windy this morning.
So I was thinking to myself walking into the building. Today was one of those days where I was like,
why did we get out of bed?
Why did we? Why are we not cocooned in bed right now?
Oh, man.
So, and again, there's the cold or whatever we're calling this, going around the Casa de Monte.
No, that you gave us.
Right.
The cold that
I'm gonna get medieval on your
and
ass.
it's not even a cold. It is a middle of the night cough that you gave us.
Okay, well, I didn't do any coughing in the middle of the night when I had it, so I don't know.
Oh, now you're pronouncing yourself over it.
Well, I'm not. I'm never over anything, clearly. But
Yeah,
I
clearly.
mean, I the cough thing didn't happen to me in the middle of the night.
Dude, it has been brutal. But you know how you get rid of it? You go to Quick Quack Car Wash and have them wash it off of you. Much like the dirt, grime, salt, dust from all this wind. Was just there the other day. I generally get my car washed at least once a week. I have a wash pass at Quick Quack. I always get the top tier. And by the way, at the Quick Quack Car Wash in South Jordan, Starting November 16th, you can get their top-tier wash for free at the Quick Quack in South Jordan at the District. That's their grand opening. They're opening now. I go there. It's right by my house. So, yes, the Quick Quack in the District is open, but their grand opening celebration starts November 16th. First 100 people through the wash get a gift bag. They're giving away their top-tier wash, like all this great stuff at Quick Quack Car Wash. Bring the kids. And the best part about bringing the kids is it's fast. You're there maybe 5 minutes, and that's if they're busy. They were busy over the weekend when I was there, and it was about 5 minutes to get through the line. So even when it's busy, it's fast. But they have all the lights and all the soap suds, and it's really a fun experience. At Quick Quack Car Wash, they bring you the biggest stories in sports. Coming up in 25 minutes, we have a crazy NFL trade deadline finally. But this Ime Udoka situation in Boston and Brooklyn, I think, is one of the biggest stories in sports. There are reports from Adrian Wojnarowski.
Right.
I can't remember what atheism destroys the world said about Adrian. But my point is, Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Ime Udoka will be hired as the next head coach of the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought on that?
I mean, my thought is that the Brooklyn Nets are turning into an organization that just seemingly doesn't care about, public perception on any level. Like I like when you look at, so if you set the Udoka thing aside for a second, you look at just Kyrie Irving, and now I'm not even talking about just this anti-Semitic tweet stuff that he just went through. I'm talking about, the pandemic stuff, the way that all kind of went down, like just Kyrie as a guy off the floor, who we all know to be, different in how he goes about it. Like, you're willing to have that guy in your organization and on your team. And I understand the guy is one of the greatest players the league's ever seen. Like, I don't think anyone disputes that, but I'm not sure that outweighs how bad of a look it is to have the guy on your team. And so when you look at how they handle Kyrie Irving, that was one thing because that was a player. It's like, all right, well, hey, he's, he brings a lot of value on the floor. Okay, fine, great, we'll deal with it. The Ime Udoka situation to me is completely different. This is someone who is a leader in your organization. This is someone who is your head coach, so he's going to be in the public eye every single night. He's not someone that can hide out in the front office. Like this is different. Like you are willing to accept whatever he did in Boston. And obviously there are multiple reports. Woj was saying yesterday that he, repeatedly inappropriately texted female staff members. I totally agree with all the people on Twitter saying, if you're a female employee in Brooklyn's organization, how must you feel today? Totally agree with that sentiment. I can't, it's just unbelievable to me that you would go and sign this guy. And I think it continues this sort of narrative that Brooklyn just does not care or has no empathy to how it looks.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with it is we, again, have to have a conversation about when does being a good human being matter? At what point does being a good human being matter? You know who Ime Udoka is. Now, from what I understand, the Nets did extensive research on that situation as to why he was suspended by the Celtics. And remember, he was suspended by the Celtics, not the NBA. So he is allowed to work if he gets hired. And the Boston Celtics essentially let him go for free, according to reports. It's shocking to me that we are less than a month from this, and the Brooklyn Nets are going to hire Ime Udoka. Like, I just cannot fathom that. And at some point, you being a guy that, and the reports out of Boston are that Ime Udoka had an extramarital affair with a female employee of the Celtics. She was married. He is engaged to his longtime girlfriend. There were other reports that he used heinous language towards women. Like, this is bad. And that the Nets are willing to hire this guy, and I don't care that he used to work for them. At some point, morals have to matter. At some point, being a good person has to matter. At some point, your past history of, sexual indiscretions has to matter. But apparently in Brooklyn, it doesn't. And you can hire guys like Kyrie Irving to be a player on your team, which I guess is why you would hire Ime Udoka to be a head coach. I'm just shocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
I am shocked by it. At some point, you have to, being a decent human being has to matter.
Yeah. I think being a decent human being has to matter. And I think that, that's what I'm saying. Like, usually these kind of conversations are reserved for the NFL and like the Deshaun Watson situation or, anything that's happened in the NFL over the years. But clearly now it's starting to leak into the NBA. And I just don't know. Like, it leaves, obviously we have to speculate because we don't know exactly what happened and exactly how it went down and exactly what he did. But you understand the realm in which he did whatever it is that he did. And I don't know, man.
Right.
I understand that the guy took the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals. I understand that. And I understand that the guy is a hell of a basketball coach. There's no denying it. But I just don't know how, if you're Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, that you think adding Udoka to this mix of guys that you have already is a good idea. I don't know how that pans. I don't know how that works out in your head.
I don't know. It's just, it feels like you're just throwing more gas on a fire. Like it just makes very little sense to me. That's what I would say. San Diego State Aztec says, don't let your questioning of why you got out of bed today affect my show enjoyment. I know people best be keeping, quote, the stinger happy. I missed out on the live stream nickname fiasco yesterday.
Well, it looks like Super Soaker's in the chat, so,
Oh, is it really? Oh, come on, James Knight. James Knight, right out of the gate, once Tanner got here, said, hey, the Super Soaker's in the house.
Facts.
Be nice. Be nice. Tanner says, salty drunk you really are, James Knight. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Don't think being a decent human being matters anymore in the NBA. But isn't that the perception of what this hiring means?
Yeah. I
that
mean, yeah.
you can be a complete crap bag and yet still get a job in the NBA.
Well, and I think people are like, hey, like Adam Silver, like, what are you doing about this? Like, what is, like, so I feel like in sports right now, it's cool for organizations to be like, yeah, we did an extensive investigation into these activities and it's fine. And it's like, okay, cool. I guess that's an excuse for the guy to get a job. I guess, like, doesn't that instead say that you did an investigation, you know what the guy did, and you're okay with it? Like, that's what that says to me.
Kind of does.
And so it's like, I whether you're Adam Silver, the commissioner of the league, whether you're Joe Tsai, like, I would even go as far as to say Kevin Durant. Like, Kevin Durant has the power to be like, yeah, no, we're not hiring this guy. I'm Kevin Durant. You hire that guy, I'm not playing here. So on a certain level, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like, Kevin Durant, even on some level, is endorsing this. Like, I know that that's a bit of a reach because he's not directly in control of it, but he's Kevin Durant. He, like LeBron James has the power to say, yeah, no, we're not interested in Darvin Ham. We're not interested in John Wall. We want Russell Westbrook. Right? So, like, that's why I say it's not just the ownership group in Brooklyn that is in control of this or endorsing this. And that's my biggest problem. It seems like every day that goes by is another day where I have to sit here and try to advocate for why Kevin Durant is some great human being.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating, because it's like the guy is one of the best basketball players on the planet and he's always in the middle of it. And that's like, I don't know. I guess I feel like it just doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, interesting story breaking this morning with Amazon, that Amazon has signed Overtime Elite to a 3-year broadcast deal.
Broadcast deal? To
stream 20 games a year for Overtime Elite. And this is a big deal because So Overtime Elite essentially is one of the top youth basketball organizations in the world, and they are the company that owns them is called Nascent, and Nascent Digital Sports Network has signed this deal with Amazon, who is now an investor in Overtime Elite. So this is a really interesting
Overtime Elite before Amazon has people like GMC and Meta and State Farm and Topps, just some other companies that are already sort of involved in it if you've never heard of Overtime Elite.
Yeah, Barry is asking me how to get in the building today.
It's not difficult.
I at least appreciate that Barry, who has in the past espoused that he hates our show.
Okay.
And I have not heard from Barry in several months.
Right.
Barry at least has taken the time to write to me this morning to say that he would like to try and get a Powerball ticket, but he lives in Cedar City.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But isn't Cedar City like
Cedar
St. George?
City's, kind of far away, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, you're not getting here by 9, Barry. You're not getting here by 9, dude. And if you're just tuning into the show this morning, we do have Powerball tickets. The Powerball jackpot's $1.2 billion. All you have to do is come by Maverick Center, pull up right in front. You know the hockey statue? You just walk right up the stairs, come to the last door on the right, and Mrs. Monty is waiting for you with a Powerball ticket. That's it. She'll give you the ticket. You can hopscotch about your merry way. Or come in and watch a show for a while, whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, bro, Cedar City's 217 miles away.
Barry, I'm telling you, with all due respect, man,
I love you, my man. I really do. I really do.
You can't, you just,
I mean, unless you're in the area already. I mean, unless you
do you have a helicopter or a private jet? Yeah, exactly. Jetcopter Monty is on the way to get you. It's amazing to me what people will do for Powerball tickets.
Yeah, look, I think that, it's not often that it's $1 billion, and it's really interesting, quick sidebar on the Powerball, like, to get the $1 billion valuation, you do have to take it, what is the term, amortized or whatever it is, where they pay you monthly?
Over a period of time to get the whole one.
Yeah.
But listen, the cash value, I think, is $567 million.
Damn.
I mean, I guess I could probably settle for. I'm taking the cash value.
Yeah,
I am taking the cash value.
And that apparently is what most people do, by the way.
Yeah,
take the cash value.
You're not getting here in time. Barfing Chicken says, "Pedal to the metal, man. Screw UHP. He can make it."
Straight up the 15, my
Let's
man.
go. Let's go. Justin Sal says, "Isn't Jeff Bezos an investor in Overtime Elite?" He was during his time at Amazon. Interesting that Amazon, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, is still getting them a streaming contract. Yeah, I don't know if Jeffy still owns. I don't know that exact. I mean, he still owns part of the company, but he no longer is involved in the day-to-day operations of Amazon. So, that's interesting to me. Let's see. Arlington Bear says, "Fellas, I think I'm headed up around 8. Give me your Betos order. I'm buying." See, I mean,
dude, I love you, bro.
Pico salsa burritos, man.
Yeah, no meat, pico salsa burrito. Just, add some whole pinto beans. You know what I mean?
Jeremy Bolton says, "Well, good morning. Does Caruso need to make another visit this morning?"
Hey, listen, dude. Dude played his ass off last night.
Yes,
I don't
he did.
care what the stat sheet says.
Yes, he
Guy
did.
was making plays.
That's what the Jazz need: a superstar and a Caruso type player.
Yeah.
They need a guy who's just a dirty dog.
Yeah.
They need because what is Alex? Alex Caruso's a better version of Buckets O'Bench. Mm-hmm. That's what he is, a better version of Royce O'Neal. Mm-hmm. And I that's what this team needs. They need a superstar. Obviously, more than that, you need a superstar level talent.
Yeah, you need a clean-cut, cold-blooded superstar kind of guy.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
Barfing Chicken says, "Cool coincidence. I just ate Betos.
What did you get? What did you get? What is your Betos
what
order?
is your go-to Betos order? Because mine is Pico Salsa Burrito.
And by the way, can I just get some clarification? Is it Betos or Betos?
I think it's Betos.
Is it Betos? Okay,
Yeah.
because I've always just naturally said Betos, but it feels like Betos is more appropriate.
Yeah, Betos is what Betos. Betos.
Yeah, Betos.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I always go with. I don't know.
Yeah.
Salty Drunk and Tanner Plummer are going back and forth. Salty Drunk. Every time you call me that name, you're basically implying that I got more action than you.
Attaboy, Tanner. Attaboy.
Every day somebody goes after somebody. Salty Drunk says, "Can we get the Super Soaker in the guest chair?" Well, he's got to come by Maverick Center to get in the guest chair.
I mean, the train does come by Maverick Center. I'm just saying.
Marsing Outdoor says, "Why do we need that? We are winning without a superstar." No, my friend, you are in my opinion, you are winning. You're at your max. You're not winning a championship without a superstar.
Having fun is the name of the game.
I mean, it's fun. It is absolutely fun to win. But do you want to win in the regular season or do you want to win a championship?
What's the difference, if you really are cold-blooded about it, what's the difference between this year's team and last year's team right now? Like,
distribution,
right? The names are a little different, right? The roster looks a little different, feels a little different. The jerseys obviously look different. New floor, little rebrand action. But when you really get down to it, this year's team may not be a 50-win team, but this year's team is probably, if, again, early, all things stay the same, all things are equal. This year's team could probably make the playoffs. We all agree to that. So if you go out in the first round, what really is different? What really has changed? Nothing. So that's why, because if you want to win a championship, you have to. You can't have role player starting five guy at every starting five position, because that's what you have. If we're being honest, like, you have a bunch of guys that can start in the league, but they are role players within a starting five. They do a job, and that's why I'm saying, like, you're extending Jordan Clarkson into a starting five. You're asking Lauri to put up 30 a night, right?
That's the problem.
Like, you're asking guys to go above what they normally do, and they have. They've done a great job. I don't want this to come off negative at all. They're doing a hell of a job. That's 100% true. But at the same time, the goal isn't to do a hell of a job in the regular season. It is to win a championship. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, like, you can't be emotional about it. You just have to say, like, yeah, we got to move it along.
I think the interesting thing, and this is just for me, Mark Hale, by the way, came by. So,
yes,
Mark, good to see you.
Yes.
My thing for me is that I only compete to win championships. When we're talking about the NBA, I think it's easy to just exist. And this fan base and this organization deserves a championship. It has been far too long. You have a fan base. Look at the crowds this year, have been unbelievable at Vivint.
Mm-hmm.
They have earned the right to compete for a championship. These fans, this city, this town, this state needs a championship. And I think if the Utah Jazz, and I do believe in the next 5 years the Jazz win a championship, if the Jazz win a championship, it completely changes the complexion, the whatever that belief is about what Utah is.
Mm-hmm.
Winning a championship changes that. And it's not winning a Pac-12 championship. It's not winning, BYU winning a Big 12 championship.
Right.
You need to win a college football national championship. You need to win an NBA championship.
Yeah.
That's what this town needs. And I think the Utah Jazz are in a position to deliver that in the next 5 years.
I want it.
But you have to remove the emotional component of this.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the biggest thing with the Utah Jazz. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I don't know. There is a debate about how you pronounce Betos.
Yeah.
Justin Salas says, no, it's Betos.
It is Betos.
Baytos. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Jacob DeLambo says carne asada fries.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Lorenzo Miranda says, last one you said, Jake. So it is Betos. Okay. Big Daddy Yummy Yummy will be over 34 minutes.
So now we've
So now
gone
it's
from, go ahead.
What was it yesterday?
Big Daddy Magic.
Big Daddy Magic is now Big Daddy Yummy Yummy. So I thought there was a bunch of women at the Jazz game who named you Big Daddy Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it now Big Daddy Yummy Yummy?
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Okay. Joe Doe says it's Betos. Now we're going to have to get an answer on what it is.
I've always said Betos, but I'm not saying that's correct.
Mesh says, I think Vanderbilt's our dog. We just need Jaylen Brown now. That's not wrong. I mean, The only thing I worry about with Vanderbilt is, can he consistently shoot the three? Because in this league right now, the way it's built, you need a guy to consistently shoot the three. But he's shown you he can make it.
Yeah, well, and I think the quality of the look that he's getting is excellent. I mean, they're creating wide open opportunities.
Yep. Tanner says, sadly, the train doesn't go by the Mav. Yeah, that's true. Your train doesn't go by the Mav. There's the
Tracks.
The Tracks is right
what
outside.
What train are you taking? I guess the bigger one? The
know.
full on,
the one that goes by Rio T.
The
front runner or whatever it's called.
Front runner.
NY Monty fan says, I agree with Mesh. Boyd Lake says B toes. Okay,
B toes. Okay.
Jake, the haircut is looking fresh. Be careful, Giselle might be sliding in your DMs. What am I just? We go and see our guy Jay Taffa over at Dave's Barbershop in Daybreak.
He is a savage.
I'm telling you need a barber. Jay Taffa is at Dave's Barbershop in Daybreak.
Worth your drive, even if you're on the other side of the valley.
So you're saying that his hair is better than my hair? That's hurtful. That is hurtful, Jerem. Whatever. Lorenzo Miranda says, carne asada fry breakfast burrito. Ooh,
yes.
Please. That would be amazing. Frank Curcio says, Jazz coach is awesome too. Will Hardy's doing a good job. Steak and egg breakfast burrito. Man.
See, now y'all are making me hungry, dude. Like,
Man.
come on.
It's called Master Betos, Bobby Thomas says. See what he did there? Master Betos?
No, no, that's going over my head. I actually don't.
You're serious right now?
No, I get it.
Master Betos.
Yeah.
You're a douche.
Yeah. Good joke.
How did you not? You didn't.
Good joke.
You really didn't get that.
Good joke.
I don't. How did you not get that? As a single guy.
Excuse
Wait.
me.
As a single guy who's not single.
Excuse me for not getting the joke.
Overt sexual reference
Yes,
to
thank
Betos.
you. Overt sexual reference. That's what I was looking for.
How did you not get that? That was a brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. A for execution.
For a guy that strengthens his forearm like 5 times a day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a strategy.
Are you single? Are you single?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. Lorenzo Miranda says, Lauri, a superstar. I don't care what y'all say. I'm right about this one. You'll see. I'm not saying that Lauri Markkanen's not a good second or third option. I'm not saying that. He ain't a one. Durant, Kyrie, and Simmons can't even win a game. Well, Ben Simmons didn't play last night. I guess he's got knee soreness. Kyrie Irving hit, I think, 2 shots last night. Kevin Durant's a stud. Kyrie Irving's the problem on that team.
I thought I saw something that said Kyrie had 0 points last night.
No, he did not have 0 points. He had 0 points through 3 quarters.
Oh.
And then he got 2. He got a couple of layups in the 4th.
Gotcha.
But he was terrible last night.
4 points, 6 boards, 7 assists.
Yeah, he was terrible last night.
2 of 12 and 0 of 6.
Yeah, he was.
Thanks for showing up, bro.
Awful. It's the only reason the Bulls won the game. Trust me, we're not very good. We, the Bulls, are not very good. So trust me when I say they only won because Kyrie is the problem there.
Yeah.
Like, well, I still to this day do not understand, and this is what I don't get. And I understand I'm a talk show host and I'm not a general manager. I don't understand. Why on earth, if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have not traded Kyrie to the Lakers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Could Russ be worse for you?
Why on earth are you signing Ime Udoka? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like that's my point. Like that's a great point. Are you really sitting here saying that for your locker room and for your organization, Russell Westbrook really is worse? Like you're not like, I know, look, I'm not saying that Russ is some great player right now. I agree with what you've said. The dude has a lot left in the tank, but there is something wrong right now mentally with Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
The guy, I don't care what anybody says. You don't go from hitting game winners and being one of the best point guards in the league and building and creating and curating a Hall of Fame career on some level to whatever the hell this Russell Westbrook is in a Laker uniform. You don't do that without there being issues. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't understand it. I don't understand
it.
It
It just doesn't happen that way. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Brooklyn is a problem. Like, Joe Tsai is an issue. You know, like, I don't know. My struggle is not that I just disagree with what they're doing. My struggle is you're making mistakes. It's an obvious mistake to sign Ime Udoka. Like, that's just not
obvious
a good
mistake.
Look.
Obvious. I totally agree with you. It's an obvious mistake. Am I making too much of the Ime Udoka thing? I feel
I
like
don't think so.
I feel like
so.
it should matter. Frank Curcio. Why can I not speak today? Frank Curcio says Kyrie trying to lead. He did the same thing to LeBron when he wanted out of Cleveland. Durant is the leader. Kyrie doesn't want to be the number 2. He wants to be the 1. Yeah.
But I don't think Kyrie has the leash anymore to have issues. Like, I don't like Kyrie is a guy.
Yeah, that's
who
all
should just
over
be,
with.
like Kyrie's a guy who should be like, all right, I'm staying on the straight and narrow. I'm going to give you 25 a night with hopefully 8 to 10 assists, and I'm just going to play basketball. That's what Kyrie should be doing right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. The only thing that I know right now is it's time for football at 50, 10 of the hour every hour. We bring you the biggest stories in the world of football. I mean, do we do a BYU football at 50 or do we? Because this Tuiaki sound is, I mean, more blame for the players, which is amazing to me at BYU. Why don't we save that? Let's do that at 7:15.
Yeah.
Because
it deserves 10 minutes.
This sound is crazy.
Yeah.
Tuiaki is rapidly losing me at BYU. I am not a fan of firing guys in the middle of the season. I just don't think there's any upside to it.
Yeah.
The sound that what he said yesterday was crazy. Football at 50, 10 of the hour, every hour, brought to you by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25, MONTY, Monty25, to get 25% off your purchase or $25 or more of 25. See, what I was trying to say was, anyway. We do have your lotto tickets. Powerball is $1.2 billion, which is what Bradley Chubb makes, apparently. How about the Miami Dolphins going all in?
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins traded for linebacker Bradley Chubb. They sent the Broncos a 2023 first-round pick that they got from San Francisco. I think this is a fantastic move for Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, heading into the season, there was a lot of questions about Miami and Tua and was Tua and Tyreek going to work out, and like what were you looking for or trying to do there? And I feel like, again, concussions aside with Tua, I feel like he's held up his end of the bargain. I feel like he has gotten better and he has performed. So it doesn't surprise me that Miami is like, all right, Tua's coming through. Let's help him defensively. Let's get some talent defensively, and let's see what we can do, because inevitably that division is going to run through Buffalo. You just know that. So you're going to have to find a way to get after Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. They also sent Chase Edmonds to the Broncos, which helps them do that. Miami also then acquired Jeff Wilson for a 2023 fifth-round pick from the Niners in a separate deal. Mike McDaniel, the head coach in Miami, knows Jeff Wilson very well. So that was absolutely that was a win. I thought yesterday was a very good day for Miami. I think they became a legitimate AFC championship contender. No, I do not think they're better than the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, agreed.
They're not. But I thought one of the more interesting trades was Calvin Ridley, the suspended, I don't know, do you call him gambling aficionado from the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you do.
He is suspended for the year for gambling on the game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, of course, the Atlanta Falcons traded Ridley to the Jacksonville Jaguars in a nod of oddness.
Yeah.
Ridley is suspended for the entire season, so Jacksonville invested in the future.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting trade.
I think it's an interesting play. Like, I think, obviously the belief is Calvin Ridley is going to come back and be a contributor for them. And it is. Your point's well taken that he was gambling on a game between those two teams, and it's funny that he got traded to the Jags. That's really interesting. But the guy can play. That's the sad part. The guy can absolutely play, and he cost himself a year. Yeah.
By the way, I think a couple of the other interesting trades yesterday. How about the Detroit Lions sending T.J. Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah.
In the division, because Hawkinson's a baller. That dude can play. I was not surprised they traded him, but then I was like, wait, that said the Vikings.
Yeah.
I was really surprised they sent him to the Vikings. And then Notre Dame's finest, Chase Claypool, is a Chicago Bear. I'm a bitter Bears fan. Take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think this is a good deal, but this doesn't solve your Justin Fields problem.
No, not at all. Not at all. And
so wait, have you come around on Justin Fields?
I've been saying I've been coming to the middle a little bit. Like like we had watched. When was that? Where we were watching videos on that? We were somewhere. I don't remember.
Somewhere doing something.
Yeah, and we were watching some videos on Justin Fields and like just what his options essentially, and I do agree that the guy doesn't throw the ball when it needs to be thrown. Like wide receivers being open in the league is a really small window. You have probably maybe a second and a half to throw that football, and he never does, which is why he's running so much. That's his problem.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I'm not going to come off the criticism of this organization that the offensive line is trash and the guy is running for his life regularly.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. But Eberflus is doing a good job with this team. Let's not convolute it. He's a defensive guy.
That was a good win against Patriots. That was a good win.
Yeah, he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
You better go all in on Justin Fields, or you better go all out. You better either trade him or go all in and get him weapons and an offensive line, because you got to make a decision on him, and I don't know that you have long.
And I think what's really difficult, I know we got to keep moving here, but what's really difficult, like we've talked this week and last week about Zach Wilson and his situation.
It's Zachy Poo, please.
Zach Milfson, Zachy Poo, the Zacinator, the Zacatator, right? Like, the guy dominated college football just the same way Justin Fields dominated college football. And it's like, how is it that these guys are just inept at the NFL level? That's crazy to me.
I don't think it's rocket science. And I feel like I've had a pretty good percentage. Now, obviously, I've missed on some guys, but guys like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, they were never going to be Justin Herbert. They were never going to be the
Joe
best.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow, great example. Tua is not an NFL quarterback because he's always hurt. He's got the arm talent. He's got
you got to give Tua some credit at least for coming around a little bit.
Dude,
I mean, he's improved.
Right, but this is what I've always said. He's always a playmaker, but he's never healthy.
Yeah.
He's Jim McMahon, dude. He is Jim McMahon. He can win you games, but he's going to miss half the games you want him to play in. Yeah. That's it. That's the honest truth about Tua Tagovailoa. He is a good quarterback who can't stay healthy.
There's no guys to backfill. That's the issue. Like, that's a great point, but it's like, okay, even with that being a great point, what do you do about it as an organization? Because it's not like you can just go find another guy constantly.
Yep, I agree. Let's see. Tom Basilius says Hawkinson to an in-conference rival was huge. Yeah, I don't understand that. Claypool, Tanner says, is going to ball out for your Bears. I hope so. He's been kind of a disappointment in Pittsburgh, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But the kid can play, no doubt about that. Sean Mirzinski says Jeff Wilson trade was a steal. Totally agree. Tom Basilius says Claypool's a bum. Jeff Johnson says, as a Niner fan, Jeff Wilson is a good player, good pickup for them. How about, by the way, turn off the football music. How about Kyle Schwarber hitting an absolute moon missile? How about the Philadelphia Phillies last night?
Yeah.
How about my Philadelphia Phillies last night?
Clutch, dude. I mean, okay.
That's my left fielder.
3 minutes on the World Series. So last night, if you didn't watch this game, Bryce Harper comes to the plate in the first inning, absolute moonshot, right? What's really interesting is that everyone is saying Lance McCullers, a starting pitcher of the Astros, was tipping pitches last night. I don't know if dude was tipping pitches, if that actually happened. Bryce Harper clearly was on him. Bryce Harper clearly had some intel on him, which then led to all these other guys going deep off of Lance McCullers, which does not happen regularly. So I don't know what was going on, but that was pretty incredible to watch.
Bryce Harper, if you didn't see it, walked up in the first inning and knew what was coming. He hit a curveball to Poughkeepsie.
That motherfucker don't miss,
my
man.
God. Like, McCullers threw him a curveball, and Bryce hit it like he knew what was coming. Okay, he rounds the bases. Bone is on deck, and Harper calls him over and whispers in his ear, right? And the inning ends right there, right? But Bone comes up to the plate the next inning to lead off, and what's he do? He goes to the moon.
Yeah.
Hits a home run.
Yeah.
And you knew from that point on that they knew what was coming. And it's like, okay, are you just going to leave him in there, Dusty? Like the Astros just left and didn't give up 5 home runs, an all-time record. I mean, it's remarkable to me.
Bryce, Schwartz, Reese Hoskins.
I mean, it's remarkable.
Baum. Yeah.
I mean, they hit 5 home runs in a 7-0 win.
Yeah, and Buddy, who hit 9 for them last night. I can't remember his name.
The center fielder guy.
Yeah, the center fielder.
I'm all in on the Phillies on this, and we were talking to a good friend of ours that happens to play the ponies every single day. And he was saying he bet the Astros last night.
Yeah, well, and
it's the smart play, I thought.
It's correct. It's the correct move. And I think this is why I've never understood why people don't like baseball. Because the little cat and mouse game in baseball that is played on a nightly basis, even in the regular season, is incredible to me. Like, you're talking about, like, just so we're all clear, round object with a round bat. Like, that on its own is one of the hardest things to do in sports. Just the idea that Bryce Harper walked up to the plate knowing a curveball was coming probably and sent that thing to the upper deck is crazy.
That's the best part of it. It's all good to know what's coming.
Yeah.
You still gotta barrel up. And
dude.
That's the thing with the Astros cheating scandal. It's the only positive thing I've ever said about that crappy cheating team in Houston. It's all well and good that they knew what was coming. They still had to hit it, and they did.
Yeah.
But you put a bat in Bryce Harper's hand and tell him what pitch you're going to throw, it's over. He's going to crush it.
Yeah.
Jeff Johnson says, dude was tipping pitches. Yes, he was. Kyle Schwarber is an absolute stud.
Yeah, dude.
Loved him on the Cubs. Freaking Cubs. Hey, we have 3 incredible players. Let's get rid of them.
Don't get us started.
That's all I will say is that's my GD left fielder.
Yeah.
That's my left fielder. And the only other thing that I can say is that you need to use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't learn from the Jacko Pizza, I mean, what's coming up at the next week, it's an amazing pie.
Facts.
Like
Bomb,
we've seen the commercials ahead of time. The pizza for November is awesome. When you go to Papa Murphy's Pizza, use the promo code Monty25. It gets you legit 25% off your purchase at $25 or more. If you're buying 2 pizzas, you're saving like $8-9.
Yeah, dude.
It is absolutely worth it. At Papa Murphy's Pizza, just download the app, and you can get the hookup as well. The Monty Show is presented by our good friends at the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com.
You've been in an accident, and now you're injured. Though it wasn't your fault, you now have to deal with getting your car fixed, mounting medical bills, and insurance companies who don't play fair. But don't worry. The experienced team at the Advocates are here to get you the support you need.
The Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Hey, thanks to Daniel, who works over at UHealth and Sugar House. He stopped by to pick up his Powerball ticket. Mark Hales was here. A lot of people are asking how to get in to get the ticket.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Monty just said, well, hey, man, it's dark out.
Okay.
But wait, okay. It's 7 o'clock. What do you mean it's dark out? It is pitch black out. Isn't it weird? It's, dude, I ain't even.
What?
I got out of bed this morning and it was like, dude, it could have been midnight. Like, it was crazy.
You out of your goddamn mind.
So I've been under the weather a little bit.
We
have been under the weather a bit. So I've been taking NyQuil.
Yeah.
It does weird stuff to me. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I wake up delusional. This morning.
Yeah,
you know when you're on the sauce and you get out of bed and you're just like, like, what am I doing, right? And so I stood up this morning and I go to get in the shower and there wasn't a towel in my bathroom. So I had to walk out and I was like, so in my hallway, I have a bedroom next to a hallway closet.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in front of the closet like, is this the closet door?
You know.
And I'm like, and I'm arguing with myself, which one's the closet door? For what? I'm sure it was 10 seconds, but it felt like 5 minutes.
That's what they all say, huh?
And he wonders why he's single.
Oh my God, dude.
And he wonders why he's single. Nobody Nobody has ever said, oh, man, that was 10 seconds. Mrs. Monty says it all the time. But,
You want to?
you know.
Anyway, continue. Okay, so
My point was
getting
I
the
was
towels.
delirious over which was the linen closet and which was the bathroom. It was weird.
Now, let me ask you this. So did you, when you said you went into the bathroom first, was the light on in the bathroom? So like had your eyes adjusted and everything?
No, I had just turned on the light, but Mrs. Monty, who has now gotten the infection as well,
Right.
it's like, honey. She's like, can you get me some Dayquil tabs? I was like, okay. So I tore off the Dayquil tabs, and it took me forever to open it because I was arguing with myself on how to open. It's just whatever Dayquil does to your body, it absolutely, when I get out of bed in the morning, I'm delirious. Like, it's weird, man. It is so weird.
The tough
Mrs.
part
Monty
is you get it
was
before, like that's early when you're on Dayquil.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
but I had to take a double dose. I took a dose when I went to bed last night, and I laid down super early.
Okay, what? So, and I'm being serious. What time is super early?
8:20.
Okay.
And I listened to the end of the Grizzlies game. They lost 3-2 in Kansas City last night.
Yeah.
I turned off my phone, and it was like 8:20 something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I had taken Dayquil, and I felt like I went right to sleep.
NyQuil.
NyQuil, rather.
Yeah,
excuse me.
NyQuil.
I felt like I went right to sleep.
Okay.
I woke up at 10:30 having a coughing fit.
Damn.
And so I drank water, and I went and laid down in our guest room. I fell asleep, and I woke up at 11:06.
Dude.
Went into my bathroom, took more NyQuil, and went back to bed.
All gas, no break.
Slept until 3 o'clock when Mrs. Monty started tossing and turning.
Yeah.
And then I slept until 3 o'clock and went back to sleep and woke up at 4 o'clock. My alarm went off and woke me up.
Damn.
And I was just delirious when I woke up. It was terrible.
So what I was going to say is I think the NyQuil is rated for like 8-9 hours. Like
it
it's
does not
rated
last
to-
me. It lasts me 3 hours, I feel like.
Yeah.
But that's the way I've always been with medication. If you take medication, it lasts you 8-9 hours. For me, I have to take a double dose of NyQuil. And what that means is I'll take some when I go to bed, and I just know I'm going to wake up and I got to take another one.
Hydroxychloroquine.
But again, not hydroxychloroquine, sir. But again, I woke up at 10:30. Did I go and take more NyQuil and just go right back to bed?
No.
No, I didn't, because I woke up and I was like weird.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Monty has like a fully done up guest room. Like
Right.
she has all these, the foo-foo pillows. Let's put 800 pillows on the bed.
Yeah.
So there's all these pillows on our guest room bed.
Yeah.
So, of course, what does fat ass do? I sit on the bed, I lay down, and so I'm all uncomfortable with all these small pillows. So now I'm just like throwing small pillows or throwing small pillows everywhere.
Yeah.
I should have just gotten up, gone in my bathroom, taken more NyQuil, and gone back to bed.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
That's what I mean. It's what you have to do, and I think the tough part is like, okay, taste wise, NyQuil to me is way better than Dayquil.
Oh, Dayquil is
rough, man.
Kerosene.
Yeah, it's
Dayquil.
rough.
Oh, it's terrible.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Oh my God, it's terrible. Dayquil
Yeah,
is.
dude.
We took it this morning. Jake walks in my front door pretty much every day at like 4:30.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on my couch thinking about how terrible my life is when he walked in today. And so I got up and I was still groggy, honestly. I don't know if you could tell that or not, but I was still groggy.
Yeah, I can. And not that it's a criticism at all, but like when you're around someone every day, you can really tell. Like the days when you're really sharp and you're like on point, you can tell. Versus just as I'm sure you can.
Because usually when
like,
Jake walks
yeah.
in the door, I'll drop like some kind of terrible language on him.
Usually it's like, "Hey, a-hole, how you doing?" Or
No,
like,
I'll be
"What's
like-
up, douchebag?"
Yeah, like something like that. But like today, I got up at 4. I got in the shower. You know how delirious I was? I got in the shower at 4:08 because I was trying to figure out towels and Dayquil.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn off the snooze on my phone.
Oh, damn.
So I got in the shower and the phone was so warm, and then the phone started going off. So I had to step out of the shower, turn off.
Biggest kick in the balls you'll ever get.
So I get downstairs, I put on my shoes, and I put my hands on my head and my elbows on my knees, and I was like, dude, the nap today is going to be amazing.
Today we need to take your ass home and you need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I need to take a nap.
That's what needs to happen.
I do,
today.
absolutely. Big Daddy Magic is now a user.
It's his name now.
Can't believe Tanner has a wife. Why? Tanner's
a good dude.
Why is Tanner taking a beating on this show?
Like, you guys understand, Tanner's a long time and he's a good dude, right? Like, we get that. Like, I understand. Like, he is definitely the punching bag of the comment section, but like,
which I
it's all
don't
tongue-in-cheek.
understand.
Yeah, like, you know.
Boyd Lake says 10 seconds. What does TWSS mean?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Jake is a 10-second guy. No, let's not talk World Series baseball, Aztec says. Too much a reminder of the futility that is the ownership of the Oakland A's. It's going to be the Las Vegas A's.
Yeah.
Jake equals king of zing today. Yes, Keith Carl, he does. That's NyQuil, not DayQuil. Thank you. That's why he takes a beating in the comment section. THT equals Kobe. Stop.
Okay, relax.
Stop
Relax.
I can't even. No.
Yeah, come on.
Tanner says, by the way, my wife made the last comment. Okay. She stole my phone while I was in the shower.
Wow.
Okay. Don't, you know.
You're casual.
You know. Let's see. Barfing Chicken says, that was totally you, Tanner. Can't believe Tanner has a wife, Big Daddy Magic says. Well, Big Daddy Magic, I am the super soaker.
See, you never finish the word soaker. Just embrace it. You are the super soaker.
I feel bad for Tanner's imaginary wife and my Monty's. Oh my God, you guys are savages. Big Daddy Magic says, Jake and I need to take some notes. Yeah, I'm brilliant. You need to take notes.
Right.
Angel Flores says, what side of Maverick Center do I pick up the lotto ticket on? Okay, I am completely not doing my job.
Yeah.
We have Powerball tickets, $1.2 billion, while supplies last, because quite a few people have actually come by. So we have a bunch of them left. We probably have 25 left.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pull up in front of Maverick Center. There's a hockey player statue and a big staircase. Come up the staircase and walk as far to the right as you can. It's the last door on the right. Mrs. Monty's there. You can come inside, look at the studio, and then get out. Unless you bring donuts, and then you can stay.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking donations, food, Beto's breakfast burritos.
Yeah,
donuts,
Chris Karn says he's bringing us 2 pico salsa burritos.
Hey.
He even texted me.
Really?
And said 2, yeah.
This is a tasty burger.
It pays to have important friends.
Appreciate that, Chris.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm a huge
Seriously, thank you.
Beto's fan. But if you want a free Powerball ticket,
Yeah.
the drawing is tonight. It's $1.2 billion. All you have to do is come to Maverick Center before 9 o'clock or while supplies last, and park in front, walk up the stairs, come all the way to the far right side. Mrs. Monty's waiting by the door.
Yeah, and she's watching for people to show up, so it's basically impossible for you to get lost.
Yeah, Jerem Patterson says Utah Jazz remind me of the 2013 Denver Nuggets. They didn't have an all-star, finished 3rd seed, and lost in the first round to Steph Curry and the Warriors. Yeah, you do need a superstar.
Yeah.
I agree, Jerem. That's a really good point.
Yep.
NY Monty fan says, Jeff Johnson, I'm an Angels fan. Ooh, that hurts.
Good luck.
That happens to live in New York. It's the worst. LA Angels are such a mess. Well, and they're not now trading Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and Buddy needs to sell the team. Like that needs to happen, and once that happens, I
Artie
think,
Moreno.
Yeah, they need to. Once that happens, they'll be in a better spot.
Big Daddy Magic says, why does your background say lies?
What do you mean?
I don't even want to know what that means.
Yeah, what does that even mean, dude?
Boyd Lake said, that's what she said. Boyd, we appreciate you. Giggity says, Tanner is a legend of the show. Duke called into another show and plugged the Monty Show. It's amazing.
Dude, Tanner went into a Twitter Spaces with all the Utah Jazz beat writers. He totally 007'd it. Like, he went in there with a legit comment and then said, I remember exactly what he said, but like he went in about the show and like how you should listen to the show if you want Jazz
MONCY, the Monty
yeah,
Show.
Like he did all this stuff and it was just incredible. Like,
yeah, we used to have drops of that, but Jake doesn't.
Okay, well, you know what?
Jake doesn't play drops anymore.
I do play drops.
We used to have a cool little.
How about that?
Yeah, we used to have drops and stuff, and J-Ron Fit says, fella, he clapped some cheeks, calm down.
And
he clapped some cheeks, calm down. Wow. And my Monty fan says, listen, Tanner knows we all love him. Look forward to seeing him every day. He knows he's the little brother of the show. He is.
He is, totally.
He's a legend.
100%.
Arlington Bear says, if double shot NyQuil before bed, I wake up hungover.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm kind of with you on that, bro. I'm kind of with you on that, Chris. I think, but you have to.
I've never taken a double shot of NyQuil. I've only ever done one full 30 ounce or whatever, 30 milligram.
Dude, you take 2 shots of NyQuil, it's like the drink. It is. He gone. It is.
I'm not afraid to die.
Yeah.
When I die, I'm going to paradise.
Well, you know. But the funny thing is, now I'm sitting here, and admittedly, I am hot, but I have on a T-shirt, a long-sleeve shirt, and then my Kill Crew sweatshirt, which, by the way, Kill Crew sweatshirts are the best.
Yeah.
The best.
So you're a little hot right now.
I'm hot, but other than that, my throat doesn't hurt anymore. You know, like I'd had a sore throat, but I've been taking Advil.
Yeah.
To alleviate the sore throat. That works.
Right now.
The biggest issue I've had is I have been a little tired, and I've had this cough.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been fine. Now, Mrs. Monty this morning wakes up, and she's like, do I have a fever?
Honey.
And she didn't have a fever, but it just needs to snow and get cold so that we can cuddle under the blanket.
But it needs to get regularly cold. This nonsense about like 65 degrees yesterday, and then today it's going to be like 30.
Mrs. Monty hooking me up saying TWSS. That's what she said. I got it.
Got it.
Wait, Boyd Lake says, wait, Tanner's married Andy Soaks? Go figure, man.
Hey, guys.
That I don't, what people do in their own home, that's up to them.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
San Diego State Aztec says, who saw the opening show for Succession? I did. The Patriarch woke up to go down to the bathroom, didn't know where he was, couldn't find it, and well, the carpet had to be cleaned afterwards. Get some, man.
Well,
that's called living your life.
Yeah.
That's called living your life. Jeremy Bolton says, as mayor, I officially declare that Tanner Plummer is a good dude.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Jeff says, I know my personal baseball life as an Angels fan is miserable.
It has to be.
I agree. Barfing Chickens. He was talking about how it says Grizzlies, I think, but I think like lies because Jake is in front of it.
What?
What?
I understand what you mean, but like...
Oh, he means right here. Right? He means, see what had happened.
What
had happened.
Okay.
It says
lies.
L-I-E.
Got it. Okay.
Lies.
What you guys notice that we don't.
The funny thing is, every day somebody picks something up. You know what? That's how I know the design of this wall. And we worked very hard.
We did.
On the Mrs. Monty and myself. Jake was off with his girlfriend alone
casual.
In a whole, like a cave. They have a cave that they go to.
Right.
To separate themselves from society. Anyway, we worked very hard on this wall.
Right. Yeah.
I love you too.
Yeah.
We worked very hard on this design. And
we did, to the point where we went through like multiple designers and like different color scheme. Like, I mean, it was a project.
Mrs. Monty came up with the color scheme. I would have done a black background. She was like, no, we need to do light gray.
And I agree with it. I think the light gray looks
it looks
fire.
great.
Yeah,
I love it. But you guys pick something new off of this wall every day, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honest. Whoa. Honest to goodness, we really do appreciate your feedback on that. Cody Strickland. I wish I could watch the Jazz game, but I'm going to the Price is Right tonight. Like, are you in Los Angeles, in Burbank? You're going to the Price is Right? Is that
cool.
true? Is that true? Boyd Lake says it says House Lies. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does. David Hume says, I think the backdrop is awesome. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Barfing Chicken says, X, you mean Jake is now lonely like the people in these comments.
Savage.
Wow. Are you lonely?
No.
You're not lonely.
No.
Because he still has a girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
So you do, right?
Not technically yet.
Yet. Notice he said yet. I'm telling you, you can never go back.
Right.
Don't go back, man.
Right.
I'm telling you, you will regret it. If you go forward, you again, when I die, I'm going to paradise.
Right.
Let your relationship die so you can find paradise.
Right.
You're going to play the drop or no?
No, I got to find it now.
Cody Strickland says, no, it's in Salt Lake City tonight. The Price is Right is in Salt Lake City tonight.
Okay.
Barfing Chicken says, embrace us, Jake. We can be your new girlfriend.
No. Nope.
Why?
Nope, can't do that.
As much as I hate to say it, Dallas Holker looks like he knew exactly what he was talking about.
Dallin
Holker. When he quit the team. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, fine. We can talk about it. We can talk about BYU. Jesus. It's not fun. I have to admit, it's not fun to talk about BYU.
It is
right
not
now,
fun.
Dude. Like, it is
to talk
not
about BYU.
a fun topic.
BYU at Boston State.
Boston and the blue turf.
The blue turf. How do I say this other than to say Elisa Tuiaki probably shouldn't be meeting with the media?
There's a certain shape to every coverage, every defense, whether it's a pressure or whether it's cover 2, cover 1, cover 3, quarters. There's a certain shape that a defense has, and sometimes when you're playing with guys that don't have as much experience, you lose the shape of that a little bit faster than you normally want to or would if you had experienced guys. And so I think that ended up costing us about too many big runs, felt like. But we've got to continue to just shore up tackling and just keep shape and keep working.
We got to shore up tackling and keep. I feel like he's blaming the players there. Am I wrong about that?
I feel like he flat out said we're losing because we have young guys who essentially are not in the right spot. That's what that means. So he said the young guys, we're losing shape in the defense because we have guys that are young and inexperienced, and that happens faster than you'd like it to when you have young guys on the roster. That's basically what Elisa Tuiaki is saying right there. And what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what their age or experience is. If they're on the football field, they're expected to do a job. And too often, that job is very simple and very obvious and very straightforward. So you're not solving world hunger here. You're tackling a guy who is carrying a football who weighs 215 pounds. It's you versus him. Who's going to win that battle? Let's not overcomplicate. Honest
to goodness, I really think you need to move on from Elisa Tuiaki. And I'm going to play this bite again. It's only 30 seconds, but I really, this smacks to me like he is blaming the players.
There's a certain shape to every coverage, every defense, whether it's a pressure or whether it's cover 2, cover 1, cover 3, quarters. There's a certain shape that a defense has, and sometimes when you're playing with guys that don't have as much experience, you lose the shape of that a little bit faster than you normally want to or would if you had experienced guys. And so I think that ended up costing us about too many big runs, felt like. But we've got to continue to just shore up tackling and just keep shape and keep working.
I think this is you saying they're poorly coached. Because that's what this feels like to me, and it's not personal. Elisa Tuiaki is a good dude. I have nothing bad to say about him personally. As a coach, I feel like this is scapegoating your players. And you as a coach need to do a better job getting the young players in the right spot. That's what this really comes down to. And if as a coach you can't do that, you're not going to win games. It is not at some point it's got to be about the coaches holding the players accountable. And if the players continue to be in the wrong spot, don't play the player anymore. It's that simple. Like, you have to have accountability. And in college football, accountability is losing reps. Because if you're a big-time program like BYU is, you should have depth, and I think that they do. But you can't tell me that the players are the ones who are constantly losing shape in the defense. What is this, week 8? Or something? It's November, man. We can't be talking about guys in the wrong spot anymore.
It's spring ball.
Yeah. Guys can't continuously be in the wrong spot and have that be on the player. That to me, that is a big problem. And I think that it's going to be very difficult for BYU to become bowl eligible now. It is going to be very difficult. You have a bye week, thankfully, coming up. But it's going to be very difficult for this team to win 6 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
I don't know. Boyd Lake says, BYU Sports Nation also keeps saying guys are in position. It's not the scheme. The players are simply not making plays. A month ago, that was the thing. And we'll ask Harris LaChance about it. He's coming up here in about an hour. But when you hear guys are in the wrong spot, Jake, what do you think? What does that make you think?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think that, you are poorly coached on some level. And I also think that you're like, coaching is obviously the foundation, right? Like, a coach is going to say to a guy, hey, you got to be here. You're looking at film and you're going to say, hey, you were here instead of there and you need to be here. And, obviously they're going to go through that conversation. And so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the disconnect is. This is the core of the issue at BYU this year. It's like, okay, not tackling well is one thing. But then if you're going to come out and say repeatedly, well, guys just aren't making plays, and then you're going to come out and say that, hey, well, these guys are young, and that's why they're not making plays. It's like, no, dude, like, they may be young, and being young and not making plays, the way that pans out on a football field most times is like a safety being in the wrong spot. Like a guy who's got a lot of responsibility, who's just in the wrong spot. But we're talking about like A-gap responsibility. We're talking about like asking defensive ends to cover the flat. That's a coaching thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a coaching issue, and I if you're Tuiaki, I don't know how you save your role at this point. I don't know how it's possible.
I don't know that there is saving his role, but at some point, and I agree with Jeremy Bolton, there's going to be a mass exodus of defensive talent on this team in the offseason. And I that's really unfortunate. It really is, because I think up to a certain point, you could say, okay, well, the players were in the right spot. They just weren't executing.
Yeah.
But at what point does that become talent not being well coached? Because when you are Max Tooley, Ben Bywater, when you are Malik Moore, who's been out for a while with this broken hand, when you're talented here, Gabe Summers knows how to tackle. But at some point, I just don't buy that it's all schematics. I don't. I really don't. Kanai says, I agree with you, Jake. They have a job to perform. It's like you showing up and not using your mic. To a certain extent, yes,
it's like
I agree with that.
You're right in perfect position.
I think it's fit, but it's probably 60-40. I think at this point it's 60% coaching, 40% talent. Because the other question I'd ask is the talent using all of their talent? Are the coaches getting the most out of every individual player on this defense?
Yeah, I mean, probably not 100%. Probably not. And
80%?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. My thing is when I hear someone like Judy Lawley come on the show and say, we have to take better angles. We have to, as players, we have to execute better. It's hard for me to just believe that it's just on the players, because better angles, what are we not saying there? What's not being said there? Well, where's a great angle created from? Well, it's created from you being in the right spot, right? Like, if you're 5 yards too close to the line of scrimmage and a back gets behind you, let's say, you're not going to be able to take a great angle on that. You're going to have to run that guy down. If you're 5 yards too deep down the field, right? Like, it becomes more difficult to take a proper angle. So you have to be in the right spots. And so it's, I don't know, man. I just think it is a low class look to be like, yeah, these guys are in the wrong spots because they're young and inexperienced. Great, they're young and inexperienced. It's your job as a coach to bring them along. And to your point, and we've said this before on the show, this isn't spring ball anymore, man. Like, this is week 8, week 9, week 10. Like, you should be contending for a New Year's Six bowl right now, not just getting bowl eligible. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I just think you, as a coaching staff, you don't do that to your players. You don't say, well, they're young, so, that's why we're having issues. You don't say that. Like, you just have to continue to wear it. That's what your job is.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I mean, it is, yeah. Boyd Lake's not wrong. It's an institutional mantra now. It's a problem of Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's.
Well,
yeah, I mean, you can only blame the players for so long. Ed Morris says talent on the D-line is not there. Nothing will make your players turn against you faster than throwing them under the bus, MY Monty fan says. As a coach, you don't do that. You just sit them on the bench in favor of those who will get the job done. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Jaron Patterson says, one of the reasons I liked Bronco, at least in defense, he could squeeze all the effort and talent out of an average player. The players he got would never win him tons of games, but enough. Yeah, I think that's a real question at BYU now. Are you ever going to reach your top side, your upside, your highest potential if you come to BYU? I think that's a question, and that's a really nasty, gnarly question to ask.
I think as a quarterback you can. I think as a defensive player, that's where the struggle is. Much like at Utah, where the defense is the route to the NFL, essentially, or running backs. They put some backs in the league too. Like, as a quarterback at Utah, it's not guaranteed you're getting to the league. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think each program has their given positions that they regularly put guys in the league. And yeah, some SEC programs put guys in the league at every position. We see it all the time. But I just think BYU has a track record of putting quarterbacks in the league all the way back to in the modern day, like, obviously Taysom Hill, and there's obviously been other guys, but I don't know, man. I look at the program and I just kind of want Kalani to like grip the program in a sense and just say like, okay, we're putting an end to the nonsense. We're putting an end to the drama or the gray area in the program. Like, this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to finish this season strong. Like, I'm kind of waiting for that Kalani moment to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I am a believer in Kalani Sitake. I am. I think maybe you have to force him to use tough love. I don't know. It just is me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Blake Lennox says, big love to you guys from Australia. Go Jazz. Well, thank
Appreciate
you
that,
for
Blake.
joining the show. Zayman says, the only reason they don't have experience is you keep subbing them out of games.
Well,
don't even get me started with that. Barfing Chicken says, the weird thing is how Tuiaki game planned around who was in the lineup instead of who they were playing for some reason, which doesn't work on defense. I don't know how true that is. You say that, and I hadn't thought about it that way, but that makes a lot of sense. He's just frustrating. Tuiaki is frustrating. Those answers about third down, and it's frustrating. I just don't feel like kids right now on that defensive side of the ball, players, they're not kids anymore, but players on the defensive side of the ball are there's a disconnect. It's either they're not good enough or they're not getting coached enough, which comes back to the coaching. Because if you're not good enough to play major college football, should you be at BYU? Are they recruiting well enough? Are they recruiting enough of the right guy? See, I think the players are good enough.
Well, I think the belief too, I also think is a huge issue now. Well, like even if you are good enough, right? Like, if you don't believe, now you've got even bigger problems.
Yeah, that's a huge problem if you don't believe. BYU and college football on the Monty Show, presented by Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Again, don't take our word for it. Go to their website, interact with them on their website. They're really good guys to do business with, from Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. George, and in Murray, Salt Lake City. They're all just really knowledgeable, good dudes. Most of those stores have full butcher shops in them as well, so you can get your meat and you can get help cutting that meat the way you want it cut. They have all the best equipment. I'm a Traeger guy, to be honest with you. I think we've talked about that a lot on the show when it comes to smokers and grills. I'm a Traeger guy. Traeger pellet grills are absolutely the best in the business, in my opinion. But you can't go wrong with Traeger, Yoder, Big Green Egg. No matter the equipment you want, Barbecue Pit Stop has it for you. Go to bbqpitstop.com. And the cool thing about their website is they have that little chat feature that you can use to ask questions. You can say, hey, I'm making a brisket. Do I need to wrap it? Do I really have to put it in towels and put it in a cooler? How long does it need to rest before I do that? Answer all those questions. They got it. Hey, what's the best pellet to make bacon? What's the best pellet to make chops or steaks? Like, they'll hook it up for you because they have all the knowledge. They know darn well how to use those smokers, how to set them up. They can help you build them. They can help you stock them. All of your rubs, seasoning, sauces, anything you need that has to do with a grill, Barbecue Pit Stop in Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. George, and Murray has the answer for you. And by the way, who's going to be the brave guy that's going to admit you're going to smoke your turkey this year? Because I feel like deep frying has kind of been a fad that's gone now.
It's just caveman. Why go to the trouble of deep frying a turkey?
Are you an oven cooker of turkey? Well, you've never had to
as
cook
a kid.
turkey.
I mean, as a kid, yeah. And I think, most people oven cook it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it tastes phenomenal. But I think you put a turkey on a smoker. And the cool thing, speaking of accessories, not to go too far off the trail here, but they make a rotisserie accessory for Traegers where you can put your turkey, or if you want to do a whole chicken or whatever it may be, on the rotisserie post, I guess if you want to call that, the steak that turns, and it'll spin while it smokes. It's super cool and 100% worth your time. And I think that's my favorite part, is the why behind it. Like you were talking about, hey, when do I need to put it in when do I need to put my brisket in a wrap in the cooler? Well, this is when, but then why do I need to do that? Why does that even matter?
Yes.
Like we've done briskets. We did our first brisket after we talked to them about how to do it, and it came out great.
Yeah, I think you absolutely have to. I think you absolutely have to. Okay, am I just not explaining this correctly? So many, like, Jim is saying that he was at Maverick Center. Okay, all you have to do, pull up to the front door at Maverick Center where the stairs go up and there's a big hockey statue. You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
It is right in front of the arena. Yeah. Walk up the stairs, and on the far right side, there's all these doors in front of the building. Hey, what's up? Oh, the Buffalo Bills fan is here. Big. Yes. I think isn't that Big Daddy Magic?
I think it is. Yes.
I think that is Big Daddy Magic. But all you have to do is walk up the front stairs, come all the way to the right, and the door is on the right.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Monty will be there. She's got the lotto tickets for you. Powerball's $1.2 billion. So you'll be able to get your Powerball ticket. You'll be able to come in and look at the studio if you like. We have a big glass front so you can see right through it. Big Daddy Magic just got his lotto ticket.
Yes.
Can you imagine? What's his name going to be if he wins Powerball?
Big Daddy Money.
Yeah. Big Daddy Stacks, I think, could be the proper nomenclature there. But, yeah, a lot of people are asking. Just pull up in front. I know it's dark out. I get it. Mrs. Monty's here. We're ready to let you in. You just pull the ticket out. It's all good. Right here, we've got Powerball tickets for you. But a lot of people talking about smoking. Josh Lovren says, we smoke a turkey and a duck hot wings for the last 4 years now. Let's go.
Let's go.
Josh says, does Barbecue Pit Stop sell meat? Meter? Hello? Meter? Meat thermometers? Yes, they do.
I can't say with 100% confidence they have the exact one you want, but I know that they have I know for a fact that they have a really good selection of different thermometers, and we got one from them that you can even set it to the type of food you're cooking. So like if you're doing fish or you're doing beef or chicken, or I think it even has one for pork as well. So it's really, they have a great selection.
Well, and by the way, the Traeger also has Wi-Fi technology.
Yeah.
So you can use the Traeger thermometer, put it in the bird, and it'll tell you what the temp of the bird and the grill is.
Super cool.
Which is amazing. M. Alvarez says, I have smoked my turkey for the last 3 years.
Let's go.
You stud. Way to go. Giggity says, smoked turkey is easily the best. I like it. Shayna Borby. If Utah want full tank, the next six-man Clarkson should not be in the rooster. Welcome to La Jordan.
Welcome to L.A., Jordan. I think that's a
La Jordan.
I think that's a Lakers reference.
No, it's not. It's La Jordan. He's the Jordan.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be Lee Jordan?
Sure.
Jordan Clarkson on L.A. makes them a better team. Turkey is one meat I have never liked smoked, Kurt Meyer says. Interesting. Let's see. Monty, like the movie Indecent Proposal, if someone won the billion lotto and offered $200 million for 1 day with Mrs. Monty, how fast would you say yes or no? Wow. I would say no, but Mrs. Monty would probably say yes. I mean, that's just, I mean, she walks in here every day and says a C word. What do you want from me?
People Myron.
I'm kidding. Jeremy Bolton says, Big Daddy Magic in the house. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He also says, I think my grandma on the Lakers team makes them a better team. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Cody Strickland says, I can't get a ticket due to work, but I will get one on Thursday. Hopefully it don't hit. I would rather do the 30-year payout myself. If I die before, you can have it and transfer it to my wife or kids.
Okay.
I think as far as the Powerball goes, and again, tonight is the drawing, and I have tickets for you. And I think we're about halfway through the tickets we had or something like that.
Yeah.
$1.2 billion, cash value is $567 million. If you want to take that full cash value at $567, I believe you can make it more than $1.2 billion.
Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. And that's why that's the way to go.
Yeah, give me the $567 million. And, at the end of the day, what is that? $304 million after taxes? I still maintain that I can make that $800 million. No,
I thought it was $560 after taxes.
Oh, is it really?
I think it's $560 after federal and state.
Yeah, if that's the case, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that because that would be freaking amazing. All right, do we 7:38. Would you trade Jordan Clarkson to the Lakers?
Depends what I get. I mean, if I get those 2 first-round picks, yeah, probably.
How do you not?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What is the answer? What is the question? I don't know what the question even is. If I'm getting a first-round pick, I'm trading Jordan Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
But who is worth a first-round pick on this roster? Is Malik Beasley a first-round pick?
Borderline. Depends on the team and the situation.
I mean, you got a 1 for Royce O'Neal.
Yeah. Royce
Malik
has been
Beasley's
good for the Nets.
He has been, but he's a 40% three-point shooter, Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's played pretty tenacious defense. That, I think, has been the one big difference. This team has played tenacious defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that they believe in what the scheme is and what they have to do to win a ball game. I mean, it's clear that you don't have a lot of ego on this team, and that's why you see the kind of basketball you see. That's why you see the ball movement. That's why you see, the team rebounding. Like, you see a lot of those team style basketball because they believe in what they're doing, and that's why I think it's frustrating on one hand that Don couldn't be here for this group. On the other hand, I think that if Don was here, expectations would be sky high. And I think that people wouldn't appreciate what this team is doing right now. So it's like that trade-off,
Salty Drunk is salty this morning. He says Luka's dropping 50 on the Jazz tonight.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of that?
No, I don't think he's dropping 50 on the Jazz. I think Luka, well, he'll probably have 30, 35. I mean, that's pretty much what he puts up on a nightly basis. But again, you're not, like, I think people think Luka is just, this guy who's better than everyone. I think Luka is great in one-on-one matchups. Luka is not a guy that is great in a transition game. He can pass it, sure. He can outlet pass really well, but I think for the Jazz, a work-hard team against Luka is a recipe for success, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Caleb says team defense making a big difference. Jane on... Okay, says, I think they trade Lauri Markkanen because he is trash. Lauri Markkanen's trash? Okay. Tom Basile says, Ross move looked like Jake driving through a national park.
Well,
Ross move?
I don't know what that means, but, driving through a national park is always a good time.
Well, I mean, you have no love for national park. Yeah, do you obey the speed limit ever?
I didn't know there was.
You're a douche.
Okay. Lauri, you people. What do you mean? I'm stuck on the Lauri Markkanen is trash comment. Kurt Meyer says, guys, I was hoping to make it up to get a ticket, but work has taken me another way. I sure hope that one of the Monty tribe takes home the money today. Oh, Kurt, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we have $1.2 billion Powerball tickets. You can come by the studio here at Maverick Center, pick one up for free.
Yeah.
Cost you nothing. Just come by and say, hey, I want a Powerball ticket. Mrs. Monty will hand you one. Just drive in. You'll see the hockey statue in the stairs. Walk up the stairs, top right side. There's a glass door. Big Daddy Magic was here, so now he's...
It's not hard to find.
He could... Are you saying that if he can find it, anyone can find it?
No, I'm just saying, generally speaking, this is not a hard spot to find. We're in a
And I thought
stadium.
Big Daddy Magic wanted a picture, but he didn't...
Well, we're doing the show, man.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
And the security guard turned the big lights out right on.
And he turned the security guard turned the lights on by the door.
That's lit.
Yeah, the door is lit.
There you
Mrs.
go.
Monty's there, so the door is lit.
See, that's clutch.
You know what I'm saying? Court McMullen says, can't make it out there until a little after 9. Hold a ticket for me, Court says. I don't know, are we reserving tickets?
I don't know. I feel like...
Court, okay.
I mean, I you can show up a little after 9. I don't think we can hold tickets. I'm not trying to hate on you,
First come, first serve. But yeah, show up after 9. We'll at least get to say hello to you. I have one question. Do you think the Jazz will beat the Mavs at home today? In Dallas, I do not think so. That game is in Dallas. And I do not think that that's going to be a tough win.
I actually think that the Jazz will win this game. The reason I think they win this game is because the Mavericks are a play slow team. They like to play the half court. They like to just kind of mull it up and down the floor. And obviously they've got good three-point shooting. They've got some athleticism on that roster. But I think about the games that Luka typically struggles in, and that's usually fast-paced games against teams who get up and down. That's usually the issue. So That's why I think the Jazz got a shot.
Yeah, the thing that worries me about that is Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing his air off, and he will until he gets hurt. I mean, seriously, he will until he gets hurt. I think when Tim Hardaway Jr. is healthy, they're very difficult to beat.
Totally.
Barfing Chicken says Luka equals an NBA god.
I don't know about all that.
Salty Drunk says just 35, but if Don drops 30, he's a stud, right? Okay, he's being salty. He's being
Sam
salty.
Brand, that's fine.
Which is, that's fine. That's fine. Neville says, how long you guys going to be there? Until 9. You can get tickets until 9.
Yeah.
Cody Strickland says, no, Luka is going to drop 38 and his mom's going to drop 50 on the Jazz. His mom is still hot. A hack. They showed his mom the other day, and she is still fine as red wine. My guy. Eric and Raleigh says, you can buy tickets online, too. You can?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't play the...
I don't think in Utah you can.
You can't play the Powerball in Utah at all. That's why we give away free tickets. NY Monty fan says, I hate Luka ball. Pure garbage. Man can put the ball in the hoop. But his game is so detrimental to the pure game. Basketball gods will never award Luka a ring.
Well,
he's good, though. He is good. Big Daddy Magic says, I want a picture for the Wall of Fame.
Yeah.
We'll hook it up. Jeremy Bolton says, mail me a ticket. Nah, can't do it. NY Monty fan says, where is the beard today? And I'm not talking about James Harden.
Okay, I don't understand.
Where's the beard today? Who's the beard?
Teddy Wayman.
Oh, our guy Teddy with
the beard.
The red funnel.
I don't know what Teddy's
the red funnel of greatness.
Teddy's probably off building some amazing house or something. I mean, that's what those guys do.
Okay.
Nope, someone else just showed up.
It's raining now, Mrs. Monty said.
I told you there's weather today. I mean, it is what it
there
is.
There is weather today. So Greg Hawkins says, sup, y'all? What's up? Salty Drunk says, what's up? These freeloaders picking up tickets could throw a tip to the show, the friggin' tight asses. Wow.
Salty being salty.
Good to see you guys. Appreciate more guys coming by the studio. Greg Hawkins, nice of you to show up. You don't come here every 2 years and have those type of comments.
Damn.
Greg Hawkins is a regular.
Damn.
I love my guy, Greg. We were supposed to go to a Ute game, but, the whole hockey thing derailed that.
Yeah. It's life.
Man, I wish I had gone to that USC game.
What a game.
Man.
What a game.
I really wanted to go to that game. NY Monty fan says, my stream just got interrupted for political ads. Now I'm pissed. We have nothing to do with us.
That's not on us, man.
No one interrupts the Monty Show. That's right.
Yeah, come on, casuals.
Hey, Court McMullen says, Luka or Zachy Poo's mom? See, here's the casual. Lisa Wilson she's kind of that crazy lady.
Yes.
Right. So don't you assume that?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you do.
Yeah, of course you do.
But Luka's mom is. I mean,
all
she's.
due respect.
I mean,
you got to go with Zachy's mom, dude. Come on.
You do?
I think so. I mean, let me refresh my memory here.
Wow. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think it's Luka's mom. Carlin Lefevre says, I'm taking Zach's mom all day. Tom Basili says, go Utes. Utah beating USC is the game of the year for sure. Boyd Lake says, is Lisa Wilson Giselle cray-cray? She is kind of cray-cray.
I mean, Luka's mom is pretty hot.
I know. I've seen her in person multiple times, and she is, my God, that woman is attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is. Greg Hawkins says, Dad is hanging in there. Thanks for asking, Kurt. Oh, good. Greg, I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Giggity says, hell no, Jake. Luka's mom all day.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that Lisa Wilson's not attractive.
All due respect.
But she's kind of got that crazy to her. Like, Luka's mom has that class. And
the
style.
Elegance.
Elegance. So shout out to everybody who just came by and got lottery tickets. Mrs. Monty's handing out Powerball tickets.
That's right, T.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. Come on by. Let's go.
And now it's raining. Yeah, we were saying it's raining now. That's a bummer. Jacob DeLambo says, Luka's mom, you take out to wine and dine. Zach's mom, you go to Pound Town.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, dude's not wrong.
Wow.
I mean, is he wrong? Like, I mean, how else are you supposed to say that? What are you supposed to say? Yeah.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
Your neighborhood says, I thought you guys were really good YouTubers. Didn't realize you had your own talk show. We do.
Yeah, dude.
We YouTube and, stuff.
Yeah.
Lou Memorabilia says, careful, Monty. Your wife closes the show every day. You know. Big Daddy Magic says, crazy over class. Do you really?
Bro, I don't know about all that.
I guess it depends on what your end goal is.
Yeah.
Rain says, who wins tomorrow, Utah Jazz against the Maverick? Well, it's tonight. I don't know. Where do you come down on that? Like Jazz Mavericks?
I like the concept of the hustle game wearing out Luka. Like, I think we've seen Luka is susceptible to getting frustrated and getting frustrated and just off his game. Like that, like Luka's notorious for when you play him physical, like you can take him off his game. So
yes, I agree with that.
You think about like if you put, I'm trying to think who they'd put on him. I mean, obviously you're going to rotate guys, but I think Vanderbilt probably has that assignment, I would think. But if Vanderbilt plays physical and disciplined defense, like I think you can win this game. I do like, and it's kind of surprising to be able to say that about this team after the expectations to start the season, but I do think they can win this game tonight.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think they can. I don't think they will. I think ultimately, Dallas is actually playing decent basketball right now. I've watched a little bit of some of their games. It's really hard for me to watch Luka play. I cannot stand him.
It's frustrating.
I am not a Luka guy. The whining, the complaining, the diving, I just can't stand the guy at all. Jordan Pablito III says Betos, B space EH space TOSE. Betos.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bolton says, you guys are all crazy. You need to post a picture of Lisa Milfson and Luka's mom on the screen side by side. Okay. Let me see.
This is okay. Attractiveness wise, this really isn't that close. It's Luka's mom.
It's Luka's mom all day.
Like she is fine. You know what I mean? But like I think to the people saying that like the craziness level of Zach Milson's mom has a certain appeal to it, like you're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
How crazy is she though? Like,
I mean, she's out there. She's definitely out there. I think the fact that she's unwilling to talk about the fact that Zach, as the commenter said, went to Pound Town with one of her best friends is,
Well, what's the upside for her on that?
I mean, I don't know. What do we have here? Oh, someone brought us monsters. Let's go. Let's crack them open.
Oh my God! You should see the screen grab I've got of Lisa
let's go.
Wilson.
Who brought the who?
Robin.
Look,
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, Robin brought us monsters. Hell
wow,
yeah.
and the white monster.
The white monster.
The
Let's
white
go.
monster.
Let's go.
Nailed it.
Let's go.
Way to go. Okay, so I'm going to be, I should not do this. I just want people to understand this is this is funny. Should I use this as the Lisa Wilson screenshot?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
I will use this as because I've tried to get her on the show.
Oh, for months.
And she just won't. She won't do it.
No,
and I've never really understood it.
I think that for Lisa, she doesn't want to come on any shows. I think that she doesn't want to talk about the whole thing.
Like the whole son thing.
The whole son thing. I think just in general. I think that she's just not a big fan of like sharing her life that way. I think she is the self-important, it's got to be on social media type deal.
There you go.
Like that. So like she's not a bad looking lady.
No, she's not a bad looking lady at all.
You know what Zach did. You knew that Zach went deep. You knew he threw it down the field.
Wow.
You knew he hit the seam route, right? Like you knew he did that. So like
you know what he did.
Yeah, you know what he did. So
that's right, T.
He
went
he didn't
deep.
put his mom in a great position. You know what I mean? Like now she's got to deal with the fact that he
went deep.
He went hard in the paint with one of her friends. Like what?
I mean, she's not unattractive. That's not the thing. I don't know. How about that?
Okay,
is that a better one?
That one's worse. That one's worse. Yeah.
So this one's better.
Yeah, that one does.
Than that
better,
one.
Yeah. She's not ugly. She's an attractive lady. Like it's fine.
I don't know. And now I have to find a picture of Luka's mom.
Yeah.
So that we can be.
Bear with us here.
So that we can be, we can be forthright.
We can be fair and forthright.
Honest,
yeah.
Bear
with us.
But I think Tim Hardaway is playing too well for them to beat.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the game is concerned, yeah, Tim Hardaway's playing well. Luka's obviously going to get his. But, it's the same concept as the Grizzlies game. I think we can all agree the Grizzlies are a much faster team than the Mavs. The Grizzlies get up and down, and Ja Morant is a real problem. And you beat them. You handled them. And so that's what I'm saying. I have confidence that you can hang with the Mavericks. The only thing that I think the Mavericks can do to beat you is shot making. That's it. I think because of Tim Hardaway and what he can do from three, that could cause potential issues. But this is also the same team that went full-on Brick City. Another person has showed up, by the way. That went full-on Brick City in the playoffs against the Jazz. So we know them to be that team.
And I feel looking at this picture of Luka's mom, I feel like she's way out. She's outclassed.
Yeah, she has elegance. I'm telling you, elegance is the word to describe her.
Yeah, I agree. That's Luka's mom.
Look at the
right
elegance
there. She is a
beautiful woman. Got her stuff together. We're good.
By the way, that was Greg Hale who just came by to get his free Powerball ticket.
What's
up, Greg Hale? Good to see you. I don't know if I'm comparing these two. Yeah.
You gotta go Luka's mom, dude. It just is what it is.
I don't even think it's close.
Yes.
I don't even think so. I'm not the crazy guy. I'm not. Just looked it up. 471 million cash out versus 674 million over 30 years. This is after Idaho federal taxes are taken out. Maybe 203 million might not be worth the wait. Oh, it's worth the wait. Barfing Chicken sends us a $2 tip. Thank you. Giselle or Zachy Poo's mom's best friend. Well, I mean, if Zach Milfson's on it, she's probably. And look, Lisa Wilson's got good-looking friends.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that you have to remember is that when you're with her friends, you can never forget football 50-10 of the hour every hour.
Well done.
On the Monty Show. Let's talk about the college football playoff rankings on the show, because I'm actually I'm trying not to be a bitter pill on this one. Tennessee is clearly the best team in the country, in my opinion.
Right.
When you look at Tennessee's schedule in the college football playoff ranking, top 5, Tennessee 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Clemson 4, Michigan 5. Are those the 5 best teams in the country? Not close. Tennessee, without question. I mean, you beat Kentucky, Alabama, LSU, Florida. You've run the table against some pretty good teams, right?
Who they got next, though?
Well, Tennessee's got Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia.
So we're gonna find out.
Yeah, F around and find out. At Georgia.
Yeah.
That's 1:30 on Saturday. That's going to be a great game. But look at Ohio State. Does Ohio State belong in the conversation as one of the 5 best teams in the country? Notre Dame, not a good win. Arkansas State, Toledo, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan State, Iowa, and Penn State. I just don't buy that as legitimate, really good wins. Do you buy that as good wins? Is that one of the 5 best teams in the country?
I mean, the tough part is I do think Ohio State is a top 5 team. The problem is because they're in the Big Ten, they're never going to have the ability to lean on their schedules. So it's you have to kind of look at okay, how badly did they beat Rutgers? How badly did they beat them? Or, so that's the challenge with them. But I feel like they deserve to be in the conversation. Ryan Day has always run a really quality program, and I think they've always got talent. But the problem is, when you look at these other teams, the team I have an issue with is Michigan or even Clemson.
Clemson hasn't played anybody. Georgia Tech, Furman, La Tech, Wake Forest, NC State, Boston College, Florida State, Syracuse.
Come on, dude. The scheduling thing, this also needs to be said. So when you play a week schedule, with Ohio State, I can kind of overlook it because I feel like the Big Ten, top to bottom, talent-wise, caliber of team-wise, is better top to bottom than the ACC. So when I look at Clemson, I'm all right, cool. You played Wake Forest. Neat. Wake Forest and that caliber of team doesn't get it done for me the way, some of these Big Ten teams operate.
Michigan, Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn, Maryland, Iowa, Indiana, Penn State, Michigan State. That's not a great schedule. They have one game on their schedule. It's at the end of the year. It's Ohio State.
But, to me, that's better than what Clemson has to offer.
Okay, so does a Michigan team that loses in the final week of the season and is a one-loss team get in over Alabama?
Gets their ass beat in a tunnel
but
fight?
Does Michigan get in over a one-loss Alabama?
No.
I don't see any way that Michigan gets in.
I don't think you can do that.
Because I look at Alabama, and Alabama is 6th in the country in the college football playoff ranking.
And they're one loss still, right?
Yes. Utah State, Texas, UL Monroe, Vandy, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They lost to Tennessee in that 52-49 shootout.
Yeah.
And then Mississippi State.
Alabama needs Tennessee to lose to Georgia. Something fierce. They need that to happen.
I think if you're Georgia, you can absorb the loss far better than Tennessee can. Because Georgia's 3rd. If Georgia loses that game, if you look at Georgia's schedule.
Who have they played?
Georgia's played Oregon, which now looks like a fantastic
win.
An
ass-kicking.
Samford, not Stanford, Samford.
Right, yeah.
South Carolina, Kent State, Missouri, Auburn, Vandy, Florida.
Yeah, see, I can make it. Man, that's a must-watch game. Damn.
That is a must-watch game.
They both need the victory, and I think the odd part is Nick Saban for Alabama obviously is never really in a position where he needs help. So, yeah, you need if you're Nick Saban, you're a big Georgia fan in that game, I think.
Eric and Raleigh says Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama. Okay.
See, but right there, I'd be fine with that being the college football playoff right there.
I think Tennessee's the best team in the country, and I think they deserve to be number 1, so I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Okay, I more meant just those 4 teams. Whatever the order, totally get it, but those 4 teams I'd be fine with.
Okay. All right. Yeah, those 4 teams, that's fine. Football 50 presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you, so all you have to do is bake it. For a limited time only, get the Hog Heaven Pizza with Canadian bacon, ground sausage, and crispy bacon. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Hog Heaven starting November 7th at your local Papa Murphy's. Cannot wait for those. Use the promo code Monty25 when you order your pizza. By the way, if you hit us with a Twitter or Instagram of your favorite Papa Murphy's pizza, maybe we'll hook you up with that Papa Murphy's pizza.
Go to a Papa Murphy's. Use the promo code. Get your pie off the rack, right? Because obviously you're going to order ahead. They're going to have it on the rack when you walk in. And then take a selfie with it. Show us what you got. We want to see the pizza, right? And by the way, did you pick up the cookie dough or did you go with the s'mores?
Yeah, what's up, Greg Hale? Stopped by the studio this morning.
Appreciate you.
8 o'clock in the morning. The Monty Show is presented by our good friends at the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. If you've been in Iraq, I can only say it so many times. I have known Matt Triggs and the folks at the Advocates for over a decade.
Yeah.
And I think you know that we only work with the people that we believe in. All of our sponsors are people that we know, local business owners. We really try to be local. Whether it's Papa Murphy's or Quick Quack Car Washes, those are all locally owned entrepreneurs building the lives that they believe in, right? So I would always tell you, hey, let's make sure that you do that, and you do that with the Advocates. UtahAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. You get there, UtahAdvocates.com. You chat with them online for free. They have a chat function there. You can be anonymous. You can do whatever you need. The best part about the Advocates is they're so confident in their ability to represent you and help you and get your life back on track that they do not ask you for retainers, no consultation fees. In fact, you don't pay the Advocates until they win your case at UtahAdvocates.com. And when I say every day on this show, if you're asking yourself the question, do I need an attorney?
Yeah.
You already know the answer to the question. Yes, you do. If you're asking, man, do I need a lawyer? Yeah, you do. If you're like, do I smell? Yeah, you do. Do you need a lawyer? Yeah, you do. UtahAdvocates.com for the best injury attorneys in the business. Let's kick off the 8 o'clock hour talking Utah Jazz basketball on the show presented by TridayTrading.com. Should the Jazz trade Jordan Clarkson? And I know that this is a question that a lot of Jazz fans don't want the truth about, because I think Jordan Clarkson is that last best, most popular Utah Jazz man left after the Don and Rudy trades. But painfully, the answer is, yeah, you probably should trade Jordan Clarkson, because truth be told, where are you as an NBA team right now? Are you an NBA championship contender? Let's be honest, you're not, right? Are you a playoff team? Potentially, right? I think you're one of those fringe playoff teams in the West. At that point, you're building for the future, right? We already know, I think we all pretty much agree this team is not tanking. If you're the Utah Jazz, Jake, what is the upside to hanging on to Jordan Clarkson?
I don't know that there's a huge upside. I think that you can one of the lone cases that you can make for keeping him is that, you know, he's been here through the Don and Rudy era. He is still here, and he can be here when you build your championship team. That, I think, is the best, you know, argument for keeping Jordan Clarkson, because he is a guy that like his ideal role, in my opinion, is that 6-man guy. And I don't think, based on what we've seen now under Will Hardy, I don't think, you know, Jordan Clarkson has to be pigeonholed into this role where he's only a scorer. Like, I think Jordan Clarkson can be a facilitator with your second unit, or he can be a guy that you bring off the bench as a 6-man and plug into your starting 5 group if you need to give a guy a rest or whatever the case may be. So to me, that would be the case to keep Jordan Clarkson. That's the case to keep him. But I agree, the guy's value right now is high, right? Like, people can see, okay, like, we're the Celtics or the Nets or the Lakers or whoever. We can see easily trading for this guy, plugging him in as our 6-man, and now we've just got another 20 points a night. Like, that's his value. And I think,
yes,
you know,
I agree with that.
When you look at, hey, could we get a first-round pick, and then maybe could we get at least another bench contributor, if not a starter? If you could get a player and a pick for JC, then I think you have to do that. And I do struggle with letting him go for just a first-rounder, but I do think you have to humor that conversation depending on the team and the situation.
Yep, I totally agree. Brett Burnett says, what floor or level are you on, Monty? Well, I'm at the highest level. I'm on, like, the 7th tier of
all
greatness.
The way up, right?
You know, another one. We are giving away Powerball tickets at Maverick Center this morning. All you have to do is drive up to the front of Maverick Center where the stairs are. There's a hockey statue. Walk right up to the top of the stairs. Go all the way to the right. Mrs. Monty is operating the door, and she's giving away Powerball tickets. That's all you have to do. Walk through the door. Give us a wave. You know, hey, we're happy to see you guys. You support our show. We love having you guys here. Take a Powerball ticket and go about your merry way of being a multimillionaire, friends. That's all you have to do.
Take a selfie with the studio, you know?
Yep. Brett Burnett says, go Jazz. Zayman says, the Monty Show making everyone guilty of coveting thy neighbor's wife. Whoops. But damn, that pizza looked good.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
Exactly right.
November 7th, they're rolling that thing out. Let's go.
Hey, yo. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you, man. Court McMullen says the Jazz. Tom Basilius says trade him. Caleb Harrison. I need a jersey, but I don't know which one to get. I think Vanderbilt or Lauri is a lock. Okay, well, you got to start with the color. Caleb, let's be honest. You rock that yellow, my man. I was
going to say, come on.
My man.
Yeah.
We got to go yellow. But if you're dead set on a player, are you dead set on a player?
No.
See, like, Caleb's nickname is Deuce.
Yeah.
You got to get the yellow Jazz Deuce jersey, bro.
Wasn't Joe Ingles rocking number 2 when he was here?
He was.
Do I remember that correctly?
He was, yes.
Yeah. So, like, you know, I don't think there's a guy wearing number 2 right now.
Colin Sexton.
Is he wearing number 2?
I'm pretty sure he's wearing number 2.
Well, then maybe you go with Sexton if he is wearing number 2. I don't know. I think... Okay, let me propose this question. Is it uncouth to go with blank? Just no player. Is it uncouth to get a jersey
put your name on it?
Yeah, or like your name or a blank or like whatever. Like, is that not how
Is
how
it
you go?
uncouth to get a new Jazz jersey with Mitchell 45 on the back?
Is it uncouth to get a yellow jersey, a yellow Jazz jersey, and then the name on the back says purple is back? Is that uncouth?
Wow. Wow, that would be gangster.
Brett Burnett's up here.
My bad.
Casual.
Brett Burnett says only make trades the Ainge way, where you fleece the other team. Well, he's been pretty good about that. Brent also suggests you get a V8 jersey. Is V8 a good name for Vando?
Yeah, I just like Vando. Vando's cool.
I think you got to go
slick.
Vando,
Yeah.
Deuce. I think on the back of your jersey, it's got to be Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Caleb says Clarkson should have been a closer in a lot of games last year, and now he has the opportunity. He does.
Yeah, but
he
again,
absolutely
to
does.
that point, though, my biggest thing right now with Jordan Clarkson is his shot selection is poor when it comes to game-winning shots. He settles for the sidestep fadeaway into the fifth row of the stands 3. Like, you can get to the basket. You were down 1, like, go to the basket.
That was BB who was just here.
Oh, what's up, BB?
BB is his nickname. Bill is his first name. And then he said, just stop by. Hope I win $1 billion. And we hope you win $1 billion too, dude.
Let's go. If you win $1 billion, are you going to tank the Jazz?
All right. Would you try if you? Oh man, don't even get me started. Brett Burnett says Vando V8. I like that one,
bro. If you win $1 billion, would you become a minority investor in the Jazz? Would you try?
I think I'd try to buy a team like the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
I'd try to do like the Wrexham thing.
Yeah, totally.
I would buy a lower tier team that should be doing better.
Yeah, totally.
And try to like build it up to a championship level team.
Yeah.
I would absolutely do that. No doubt. Jeremy Bolton says, hey, Caleb, I have this trashy, overrated number 6 Bulls jersey gathering dust on my bathroom floor. That's not nice. To which Caleb laughed. That's not nice. Talking with Raphael podcast.
On the New Skin Radio Network.
I will buy the yellow jersey if they win the championship.
Well.
Okay.
Guess you won't have to buy it anytime soon.
NY Monty fan says, haha, Jeremy Bolton, are there brown markings on it as well?
Savage.
Easy. Clarkson deserves a Wolves type offer. Brett Burnett says, no. Come on. NY Monty fan says, I love Caruso, by the way. Darn right. Jacob DeLambo says, I'm waiting till after trade deadline to buy a jersey.
Smart man. See, that's smart.
Brett Burnett says, Vando V8. Jeremy says, NY Monty fan, I'm finding you for that last comment. Exactly. Also, could you imagine if Royce O'Neal turns into a lottery pick? But how does he turn into a lottery pick, though?
And I don't know, like, why we're obsessed with the top 10 pick. I understand conceptually why that's valuable, but I don't know, man. I think they can go about this a different way. Like, I don't think you need to suck and try to get into the top 10. Like, I'd love to see him be top 15 for sure.
I would love to.
Like, I think right now, I was looking at it the other day. I think they have the 8th overall pick, if memory serves right, and that was via like the Pelicans or something, if memory serves. So, like, they've got some swaps and some things they're working, but I don't know. I'm not a proponent of tanking or like going through the draft like that.
Utah Jazz Talk on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Tri-Day Trading. TriDayTrading.com/Monty. So says the greatness of Alema Harrington.
Alema Harrington here. You know, I've been in the broadcast business going on 30 years now. And after that amount of time, you start to be able to pick some winners. I want to share a winner that I'm aware of with you, and that is my guys at Tri-Day Trading. They're going to teach you how to trade, and then they're going to let you trade using their money and then split the profits with you. That's a pretty winning deal. If you want to register for a free webinar, all you have to do is go to TriDayTrading.com/Monty. So for more information, it's TriDayTrading.com/Monty. We'll see you there.
We know famous people.
Yeah.
Lemon and I have never met. TriDayTrading.com/Monty. I'm telling you, we've never met. I'm telling you, if you're going to work today, and this has been something I've talked to a lot of people, it feels like Instagram is the place for work conversations.
Dude, I mean, it's real. Like, if you're going to work and you're like, damn, I hate my job. Like, I hate what I have to do every day to put food on the table. Like, this is a real opportunity. Like, 100%. Like, again, you always hear us say, and, you know, sorry if it gets repetitive for those of you listen every day, but it literally is, go watch the webinar, right? TriDayTrading.com/Monty. Watch the webinar. After you watch the webinar, simply make a decision. Most people that we've heard from, the feedback we've gotten from listeners who've gone and watched it, they have gone into the program. They've gone through with it. And I think that the reason you see that is because there's value to it. They're basically saying, hey, here's our money for you to learn with, and if you make money, we're going to split the profit with you. It's a completely straightforward, totally good proposition. And I think that there's like this stigma about day trading. Like people think, oh, you day trade? You're a scammer. You cheat on the markets. And it's like, no, that's not what it is at all. They have a program and they want to teach you how to leverage the stock market, how to leverage day trading to build wealth. Like remember, and I haven't dropped this number in a while, $100,000 a year is $273 a day.
Isn't that crazy?
Like $273 a day to make six figures. And for those of you in Utah, you know damn well that $100,000 isn't going as far as it used to. No. So that's what I'm saying. Like, give it, if you haven't and you're hating your job right now as you listen to the show, give it a chance. I'm telling you, it's worth your time.
TryDayTrading.com/Monty. It's a free webinar. That's all we're asking you to do. We're not asking you to buy anything or invest in anything. Just go watch the free webinar at TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Let's see. Talking Jazz. A lot of people are in on this jersey conversation. Zaman says, great discussion. I totally want to buy a jersey, but who the hell knows who's going to be here in 1 year? Well, I mean, if you're worried about that, you're probably buying a Walker Kessler jersey. If you're like, do you buy a jersey and put your own name on it?
Yeah, see, like, I think with this team right now, I have to agree with, folks like Zaman. Like, I wouldn't be buying a jersey yet. I just wouldn't. I think for me, I'd probably wait till the deadline, and then go from there. Like, I think I feel pretty good saying that Mike Conley's going to be here. I don't feel like they're going to move him, but I could be wrong. I feel like if you were going to move Mike, you already would have. But I would probably wait till the deadline.
See, and I'm not a guy that I would just get Monty if I was getting a jersey, but I'm 49 and I'm probably past the jersey state of my life. But I think you get a custom jersey. Yeah. I think you get your own name. If you're Caleb, get Caleb. If you're Deuce, get Deuce. That's what I would do. Right, LOL. That's why I held off from buying one in the beginning, because we traded half the team.
Well, exactly, and let's be honest, none of us love the rebrand right off the top. I think it's growing on us. Like the black jersey on that home court looks really nice. I agree with you. I agree. Even though we're only going to get the yellow jerseys like 10 times this year, I think they look really nice when they're on the floor.
If I'm buying a jersey, I'm buying the black one.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
I'm buying the black one, plain and simple, right? Like, am I wrong? So you agree with that?
Yeah, the black one's by far the best one.
Yeah, I'm buying a black jersey. I don't think it's close at all. Jerem Patterson says, my favorite jerseys I own are Greg Ostertag and Adam Keefe. Adam Keefe, Big Red. I haven't heard Adam Keefe in a long time. Wow, that's crazy. Brett Burnett says, Nets are a disaster, but Sixers will turn things around unless injuries happen. Rockets falling apart. What do you guys make of this Nets thing? Because I think this is a big deal. The fact that the Nets are reportedly going to hire Ime Udoka to be their next head coach. Am I the only one that thinks that's absolutely ridiculous?
Yeah.
It is shocking to me that he's already getting back in the league. Not suspended by the NBA so he can work immediately. Ime Udoka, according to Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams, is going to be the next head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And I am stunned by it. Don't you need to know? Don't you want to know what this guy did in Boston? Like, I need to know that. If I'm going to hire him, yeah, it is despicable. If I'm going to hire him, I need to know. It's not even a thing that I think there's much to talk about. I think you have to know exactly what he did and why he did what he did, and why the Celtics handled it the way they handled it. You don't suspend a dude for an entire year and then be like, nah, we just had a difference of philosophy.
It's ridiculous.
He did something.
Yeah.
And I need to know what that is before I hire him, before I trade for him, essentially. And by the way, Boston's letting him go for no compensation.
Yep.
What did he do? What did Ime Udoka do that was so bad that you don't want him around your team for a year, and now you're willing to let your head coach, the best head coach you've had probably in a decade, walk away for no compensation?
Yeah.
What did he do? Who did he murder? Where did he bury the body? Like, there's something more than we know, and I need to know what that is.
Yeah, and I think the fascinating thing is the Nets have basically said they know what it is, right? Like, they said, hey, we did a long investigation or inquiry, if you want to use the proper verbiage. Like, they know what he did, and they're still signing the guy. And that's my issue, because eventually it's going to come out. Like, it always comes out, whether that's a year from now or 20 years from now. There will be egg on Joe Tsai's face at some point. And I don't know, like, even if it was, like, I love the people who are like, oh, well, he just sent scandalous texts to female employees.
No, it's more
like,
than
dude,
that.
But like, let's say that's all it was. Let's say that's all he did. I agree it's more than that, but let's just say that's all he did.
But we know
enough.
It's not. We know that he had a sexual relationship with a Celtics employee.
Yeah.
We know that Celtics employee and I shouldn't say we know, allegedly what happened was Ime Udoka had a sexual relationship with a female employee at the Celtics. She was allegedly married. We know he's got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was other stuff that he supposedly did.
Yeah.
I need to know what happened, because extramarital affairs don't get guys suspended for a year. They don't. We need to know what that was. It's going to come out eventually. I can't believe it doesn't come out eventually.
Yeah.
I just can't. Caleb says Josh Primo as well. Isn't he going to the Nets? He got waived from the Spurs for exposure.
They signed him.
The Nets signed Josh Primo?
There was reports yesterday that they signed him.
No,
Yes.
that can't be right. Are you being serious?
Yeah, I think I saw
no
I can't remember
way.
if it was Shams.
No way did the Nets sign Primo.
Let's see. Let's pull that back up.
Yeah, Hoop Central says that the Nets, are you serious? The Nets have signed Josh Primo via, no way did Woj tweet that. What? No, I would have to see that. I'm not buying that. I'm not ready to, yes, wow, are you serious? ESPN story on, wow, that's crazy. Ex-Spurs guard Primo clears waivers. He does not have a story. Okay.
I don't think it's official yet, but it's heading that way.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear the story on Josh Primo, he allegedly exposed himself to multiple females in the employment of the Spurs. That's why they cut him. I have a hard time believing that. There is no way.
Not after you hire Ime Udoka, you don't have a hard time believing it.
Boyd Lake says it was an extramarital affair with a Celtics VP's wife, not just any Celtics employee. Yeah, I'm going to say allegedly until we have a real good idea of what that is.
Yeah.
Until we have a real good idea of what that is. Teddy Wayman, good morning. Good to see you too, my man, NY Monty fan.
There you go. The beard has arrived.
The beard has arrived. And another question about where to come and get your tickets. We're giving away.
Who said it?
We're giving away. It's not worth the fight. We're giving away lotto tickets, $1.2 billion Powerball tickets at Maverick Center. Just come to the front of the building, walk up the staircase at the front of the building. You can't miss it. It's by the hockey statue in the team store. And come all the way to the right-hand side. You'll see Mrs. Monty standing by the door, waiting to give you tickets. Jacob DeLambo says Nets need to change their name to Suck D's Nets. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
DeLambo having a day.
I don't get it. Jordan Wheeler says I'm laughing so hard at this show. Well, we appreciate that. Now the Primo signing. I don't know if that's true. Josh Lovern says the Nets are very transactional. Culture and fit doesn't matter to them. You are seeing the franchise rot from the inside out. I think we're going too far on the Nets. I think I can see two sides on Ime Udoka. What are you guys thinking? You're stupid. Okay, that's one side. The other side is we did our due diligence. We know what he did, and we can live with that. And oh, by the way, he's arguably the best available coach on the market. And we can get him for free, and we can pay him less because of what he did in Boston. Done. I can see that. Now, if you're going to sign Josh Primo right now, now I'm starting to question your moral compass. But I guarantee you at the press conference for Ime Udoka, they're going to say, well, you know what? And maybe he talks about it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. My guess is Ime Udoka, the language is we feel comfortable with where we're at, and we investigated the allegations against him in Boston. We spoke to him about it, and we're comfortable with what his answers were. He's a really good coach. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know what I mean?
I don't love
I
that.
can see that.
Yeah.
You know. Mike P says, on my way to get New York NY Ticks, just a 5-hour drive. Okay.
Okay, Mike.
Okay.
Mike.
Okay. Nets got screwed by the Jazz offseason trade deals. Potentially. Jordan Wheeler says, where are the donuts? I don't care about the tickets. Mrs. Monty's lazy.
Well, no,
and she refused to get donuts. So
bring the donuts.
It's Mrs. Monty's fault.
Yeah.
You know, actually,
she's giving you a death stare from outside.
Is she? I can't see her very well at all because there's a reflection.
Death stare happening here.
Actually, Harmon's doesn't open till 7, or we would have Dunford Donuts.
Yeah, casuals.
Because Dunford Donuts are the best donuts. We all know that. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. Peter says, why not trade some of our picks we accumulated and try to trade for Kevin Durant? This Jazz team just needs a superstar. What do you think? I'd love Kevin Durant on this team, and I said the day that he demanded a trade, do you think Danny Ainge makes a call? I mean, I would think so. Now, I don't know that he's one of our listeners, but I just witnessed a man walk all the way to the wrong end of the building. It is the farthest right door.
If you're looking at the building, right-hand door.
Right-hand door towards the tracks.
Mrs. Monty's like, come to the right-hand side.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so we are giving away lotto tickets, $1.2 billion jackpot. Come to the top right of the staircase. Brent Burnett says no Durant and not the best coach. Who's the best available coach then?
Oh, from a basketball perspective, Ime Udoka is definitely the best coach.
I don't think that with what he did with Boston last year, I don't think there's any doubt.
Yeah.
Court McMullen says Nets are the new Knicks. Ooh, I like that a lot. Just can't make the right move no matter what they try. Could see that. Big Daddy Magic says donuts tomorrow morning. Guy, what are we, an ATM machine here? I just gave you a $1 billion lotto ticket, bro.
$1 billion.
Kurt Meyer says, didn't Udoka come from Toronto?
Hey, Caleb's in the house.
Hey, Caleb's in the house. What's up, Deuce? Good to see you. No, I don't think he came from Brooklyn. He wasn't a sit. That's why the Nets want to rehire him, because they know him, and he used to be an assistant with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
So that's why they're comfortable rehiring him.
I don't know, man. I have to question their moral compass. Like, I don't disagree with what you said. Like, if they did an investigation and they're okay with it, like, okay, fine.
But isn't that the answer they're going to give?
Oh, yeah. I think it's standard operating procedure. You're going to say, yeah, I did an investigation. I'm cool with it. It's fine. And they're just going to deal with public reaction, I guess. Like, but
I don't think there's any doubt. I don't think there's any doubt that that's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
I just
don't love it. It's such a tough thing because you're taking a big risk. You know, I feel like you're taking a big risk, but at the same time, I think Steve Nash was in over his head. So you need somebody. You know, who are you going to go and get?
Brent Burnett says, Jazz hurt the Nets with the Gobert trade. Facts as Durant could not be moved after that trade. Well, it was difficult. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I don't agree that he couldn't be moved. I think they were too stubborn about it. He could have been moved.
Prismak from Poland says, I'm back. Hello, my friends from Plok, Poland. Go Jazz. Nice.
There you go.
I like it. Josh Lovern says, does KD okay a trade to SLC? I don't know that it matters. Snyder is better, Brent Burnett says. I think jury's out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Quinn. I'd hire Quinn Snyder tomorrow if I could get him. Kurt Meyer says, why do we need KD when you have LM?
You're not serious with that. Come on.
You're really comparing Lauri Markkanen to Kevin Durant?
That ain't even a conversation.
Come on now.
That's not a conversation.
Q-Win Snyder, Cody Strickland says, would be the best coach. I don't know about that. They could go for Quinn Snyder. Everybody's saying Quinn Snyder to Brooklyn. He'd be a great hire there, honestly. But I think they know Ime Udoka. So, and in that locker room, I do think the color of the coach's skin matters.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, I mean, I think that matters. And by the way, it's got to be an experienced coach. I think when you look at Steve Nash, that was an abject failure, which I guess we haven't really talked about the fact that Steve Nash got fired. I mean,
yeah,
that he was an abject failure there. You know, Cam Harrison says, now I want donuts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Big Daddy Max says, Monty, the new ATM with all his day trading. That could be. Absolutely, that could be. But wrap this up. Like, would you in any way, shape, or form hire Ime Udoka, Jake?
No, I would not hire Ime Udoka. I just think with where the Nets are at, like, you've had a ton of drama here. Like, you like, let's not forget, you went from these two guys leaving the organization to putting it back together and figuring it out. You're talking about guys like Kevin Durant having meetings with Joe Tsai to tell him he doesn't want to be here. So I just think there's been a lot of drama in the organization, and I think that it would have been better to get a more PR-friendly hiring, if I'm being honest.
Well, check that out. Harris LaChance decided to pop into the show a little early today. What's up, Harris? Good to see you. Let's get this all straightened out right. How about... Oh, I bumped
hello.
him. Dadgummit.
Hello.
Well, hello. I'm a rook.
There
I'm
we go.
sorry. Right there. Hey! How about that? I know what I'm doing. Harris, good to see you, my man. How are things?
Good, brother. How are things with you, man?
Doing well. No complaints. All right. Let's get it out of the way. How's the baby? Tell me the baby stories. I saw on Instagram that you guys had the trick-or-treating thing all hooked up. How'd that go for you?
It was awesome. Got his first little Halloween in the book, so that was good. He dressed up as a little lion, and it was really cute. So,
oh, that's great, man. Like, is that one of those markers? Like, did you guys agree? Like, did you dress him up? Like, did you and Mrs. LaChance agree on what the costume would be?
No, I just came home one day and he was in lion costume, and it was cute. And we were like, all right, cool, let's go with it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is your wife gets the first, last, and only say on fashion or those things is what I'm guessing.
Absolutely, and I'm cool with it, man. I like it, so I'll just go with it.
You know what I think is cool about you, and obviously I don't know you well at all, but it seems like you and your wife have a really good support system. Like, how important has she been in your football career?
That's a great question. She's always been, honestly, so supportive and so loving, and just always there when I need her. She's really the best. Got to give her a shout out.
Yeah, I think you do, and I think when you look at how difficult it is, because I think the challenge is, especially when you guys have had the challenging season you've had, you kind of need that support system, right? Like like she's your rock. Like Mrs. Monty is absolutely my rock. Like when I need a go-to, when I need somebody to tell me the truth or tell me right or set me straight or just be positive, like it is. I would imagine she's that easy button for you in those situations.
Oh, dude, exactly. And that's what a good wife is, right? And she's the best for me. I mean, she's my rock, man. And you're right. She tells me straight up when I need to hear it, and also, gives me confidence and everything. So it's awesome.
Yep, talking BYU football with Harris LaChance. Thanks to our friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. So let's talk about morale. Obviously, you guys are going through a very difficult time. How are you guys staying together? How's morale in the BYU family these days?
It's good. We had a good practice yesterday. A lot of energy, a lot of high energy, and and for the most part, we've been having good practices throughout the week, high energy. And, last week was a tough loss. It was close, though, and I think that if things went just even a little bit different, we would have come out with a dub. So, we're optimistic and ready to give it our all this week. So,
well, Boise's always a good matchup for you guys. But how do you, as a guy that you've worked really hard to get to where you're at, and you're not used to seasons like this. So how do you, whether it's, pull up your bootstraps or keep your chin up, like what are you doing to stay positive? Like what are those, do you have tactics? Like how do you stay positive in the face of a pretty good bit of adversity?
Oh man. We got to take it day by day. That's what I'm doing, man. And win or loss, you got to just say shiz, man. Well, it is what it is, and we keep fighting through it, bro. Keep showing up to early morning lifts, showing up and giving your all, and eventually, it's that hard work's gonna pay off, and it's gonna show, man. So just keep doing your thing, keep working hard. You know what I mean? And be honest with yourself too. If you need to improve things, you need to do that. But then, build on it and keep going.
Is it tough to do? I mean, because you guys watch a lot of film, and I mean, when you're not performing your best as an entire football team, is it hard when you watch that film and you see, hey, I could have done this better, I could have done that better? Is it difficult to hold yourself to a high level of accountability?
I mean, maybe at first, but I mean, right now, because of pride at first, right? But now it's like we're all humbled enough, and you say, I need to do that better, and you're right, and I need to do this better, and everything's under a microscope, and you're right, and we've got a lot to fix, and we're going to work on it, and we're going to get it better.
Wow. The other interesting thing is you talk about the weight room a lot. We talk about losing games, and the weight room is an interesting ecosystem in a football team because I think there's a lot of bonding that happens in that room. Last week we missed you because you guys were doing a team lift. And I wonder, like, what was that team lift like, and how important are moments like that in your weight room?
I mean, we're here every day, every morning at 7 a.m. And it is important, man. And no matter how tired we are, we pride ourselves in lifting every day. That's a thing that we do here at BYU. And so with that, it's really important, man. And you got to keep pushing yourself. You know what I mean? It's important to stay strong throughout the season, and to keep working your body, and that's what we're doing. So,
do you feel like you guys are moving in a right direction? And let's really get into football, because I think that's, one of the things I hear all the time is that, accountability, and this guy's got to do his job. And talk about the offensive line, because that's your position group. Do you feel like you guys, on a man-to-man basis and as a group, do you feel like you guys are doing your jobs well?
For the most part, yeah. Last week we graded out. All of us graded out pretty good. There have been games where we haven't performed good at all, and we could have done a lot. We could have done a lot better, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it happens, but no, I think for the most part, I mean, we're blocking well enough up front. There's always improvements. And always things we can get better at and keep improving on, pad level, footwork, hand placement. Yeah. Those are things that are constantly need to be worked on and constantly need to be improved. But yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
Specifically, how have you guys looked in run? Because I think I watching most of your reps, I feel like you guys do a pretty good job in pass pro. I feel like obviously you're never going to be perfect, but my question is, there's so much more there. I feel like there's so much more work to be done in the run game. Have you guys graded out well against the run?
That's more what I was talking about, is some games better than others. I think when we focus on pad level, the run game gets going a lot. And like, we focused on that all last week, and it showed up in the ECU game. And that's what we've been focused on this week, and also just running off the ball and things like that. And it's tough too with a lot of different running backs. You can talk about that. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. It's all we all work together, right? And so everybody has to do their 1/11th. But for the most part, I mean, that is what it is.
Well, and I don't even think that's an excuse. I mean, obviously injuries have been a significant issue on offense. But I mean, when you have different running backs back there, I do think, and I know I've asked you this, I feel like too many times, but I do think it's hard to form chemistry between the offensive line and those running backs when you've had guys that are missing reps, whether that's Brooks or, Davis or whoever you want to point to. It's got to be difficult for you guys to have that consistent chemistry, because I think every guy hits the hole a little different.
Yeah, and it can be tough. But, we pride ourselves. The O-line prides ourselves, and no matter who's back there, we don't care. We just block our asses off, our butts off, and we keep playing. You know what I mean? So yeah,
absolutely. Hey, before we let you go, let's talk about Boise a little bit. You guys get to go up there and relish in the blue turf that is Albertson Stadium. What is the particular challenge? Obviously, you have a lot of experience against Boise. What is the particular challenge of going up there in that environment? Is it a difficult place to play? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, Last time we played there, I think was COVID, so there weren't any fans. But obviously, yeah, crowd noise is going to be they're allowed in stadium there, and they love BYU. They love us, and when we go up there, it's a good time. So I'm actually pumped for that, man. I love the adversity and love being against the ropes, and so that should be fun.
Harris, they don't like you.
I know.
Don't like, they don't like BYU.
That was supposed to be sarcasm.
That's awesome. What do you expect from them defensively? What have you seen? What do they look like defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they play straight up, and they're a veteran defense. I mean, we played against most of these guys for the past 3 years, so it should be fun. I mean, a lot of guys we know pretty well now, so it should be fun. They're strong, they're good, they play their gaps, and they play their solid defense and they do it well. So it should be a fun game.
Well, hey, I wish you luck. Stay healthy. We'll talk to you next week, man. Always good to see you.
Appreciate you, Monty.
There you go. Harris LaChance talking BYU football on the Monty Show, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Good to see Harris again. What do you make of that? What do you take away from that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I always give Harris a lot of credit. I mean, I think he's a professional, and I think that it's not easy to be in a situation as a team where you are going through it, and they are going through it. And I think that Harris deserves a lot of credit for, saying it doesn't, I thought his answer to the running back question was perfect. It doesn't matter, who's back there. We're going to block our asses off. Is that not what you do as an offensive lineman, right? That's your purpose on the football field. And I think, while I agree with your sentiment there about the running back room, hey, it'd be great if you had the same back there most of the season for most of the reps, so you could build that chemistry, because it is true. Every back hits the hole a little differently, but the truth is, Harris is right. Their job is to create the hole. That's your job as an offensive lineman. And I think you can't control, Brooks hesitating a little bit or not, hitting the gap hard enough. I think it's just the way it goes on a football field. And I think Harris understands the bigger picture as well, in my opinion, right? This is just my opinion, my observation based on having him on the show a bunch. I think he understands for his career and in the bigger picture, you just got to stay positive and keep working hard. He can't control, the fact that they drop 8 too much or that the defensive line is, he can't control any of that. And that's why I say, the guy is just a true professional, and I've always respected that.
Yep. Thanks to our friends at Coug Connect, CougConnect.com, the best collective for NIL in the state by far. If you support BYU football, you should really support Coug Connect. They offer a $10 a month subscription. 99% of that money goes to the players. Trust me, I know Jake Brandon and the guys at Coug Connect. They do a great job supporting BYU athletes, not just in football, but across the board. So make sure you grow the NIL business at BYU through CougConnect.com. I know money's tight. I know we all have issues. If you have $10 a month, I would encourage you to subscribe at CougConnect.com. They make Harris LaChance possible for us. They really help us get a lot of the BYU guys on the show, and we appreciate CougConnect.com. Also, thanks to our friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza, who make Harris LaChance possible every week. Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. A lot of people in the show today. Please, right now, if you're here, 157 of you, give us a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. We really appreciate everybody who watches this show. People have been asking me, and people have been submitting their families for support through the holidays. We would love to hear about families. If it's your family or a friend, whoever it might be, please do support those friends of yours through the Monty Show. We want to take care of somebody and support them and provide Thanksgiving for a family. Please DM us, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show. DM us that money that you give us through the tip jar on this show. You can click the little dollar sign at the bottom of the screen, and you can donate $1, $1 million, $1.2 billion if you win the Powerball tonight.
Yeah.
That money goes straight back through the end of this year. All of the tips you give us will be used to give back to the community. So nominate a family. If you know somebody that's in need, if you know somebody that need help, please nominate them through our process on Instagram or Twitter, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show on Instagram and Twitter. You can nominate people, tell us their story. We'll pick families out and use all that tip money to support our viewers. That's what we're trying to do to give back, and we really appreciate that. A lot of you are talking about Harris talking about his marriage. Kay Nurin says, that's how a good marriage should be, supporting each other. BYU football should learn this. I think it's one of the unique things at BYU that a lot of the players are married.
Yeah.
And when you're having the season that they're having, which is to say you're not winning at the level you expected to win at, I think you need a good home life. And it is really difficult. And we talk to all kinds of people. Thanks for coming. We talk to all kinds of people that really work hard to work and grind in their personal life. And it's not easy when you're losing football games and you hear all that negativity. I think we saw this with Peyton Wilger's wife.
Yes.
Where she got on social media last week and blasted BYU for not giving
upset.
for not giving him a parking pass. And he's injured and they had to walk. And it's really easy to lose focus on that. So it is. I think it is not lost on most people that it's a very difficult time of year for BYU football. I don't think there is any doubt about that. No doubt about that. Junior, Dial, Drew, and Andy all just stopped by the studio.
Go.
Thanks, guys, for coming by.
Let's go.
We appreciate that. A lot of you in on the Jazz. Kay Nurin says, hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Brett Burnett says, Wolves losing doesn't hurt my feelings. Jazz have their picks. Well, the issue is, if we're being honest, the value of the picks that the Jazz have going forward, and this goes back to the Jordan Clarkson conversation we've been having.
Yep.
I think the value of those picks is only going to be diminished, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that the picks you own are not great. It's not like you own OKC's picks. You own Brooklyn's picks. You own you own picks of teams that are good.
Yeah.
Minnesota's picks aren't worth that much because they're probably going to wind up in the top 5 of the Western Conference, I would think. So that's why I think you have to trade a guy like Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing with it is, like, Danny obviously has a great grip. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's going to be the winner, hopefully. The tough part is, like, I think Danny understands, obviously, and has a great grip on, the picks they have and where those picks fall and who's got what and all that good stuff. What's up, man? Good to see you. How
we doing? Thank you for coming.
Danny understands what he's got. At the same time, I think that there is a loyalty to Jordan Clarkson on some level from this organization. And I understand that. I get it, but at the same time, like, they're not in a position to play favorites, I feel like.
No.
I feel like you just have to, it depends on the team that calls and the situation that team is in and what they're willing to offer. I mean, and unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast, and I don't know how else you get around that.
And if you look at the future first-round picks they have, in 2023 they have 3. They have Minnesota's, Houston, Brooklyn, and Philly, whichever one is the least favorable.
Yeah.
So they have their own pick. So if you're 7 through 10, right? Minnesota, you would imagine, is a top 5 team in the West, right? I think we all can agree.
Probably.
Houston, Brooklyn, or Philly, whichever is the least favorable. So right now you would have to say that's probably Philly, right? Because
what was it?
Houston, but they're going to be terrible, so you're not going to get their pick, right? Whichever is the least favorable.
Okay.
So Houston's going to be a very good pick. Brooklyn, I don't know. I mean, how much confidence do you have in Brooklyn? You would think at some point they start winning games.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, I like Brooklyn over Philly. I have to be honest, but who the hell knows? I think
what is your hate of Philly
because
about?
They're dysfunctional. James Harden is not a winner, right? Like, Tyrese Maxey should be getting way more reps than he gets because James Harden holds the ball too much. Like, I don't think that Philly has a group that plays together. Can you imagine Philly playing the way the Jazz play, like playing team basketball and moving the ball and getting guys open looks? Like, they would be dynamite, but that's not how they play. Like, James is more interested in breaking guys off, and I get that, and I love watching it. It's entertaining as hell, but, like, when we're talking about draft picks and winning games and how that's all affected, like, I think that Brooklyn is capable of winning more games than Philly. I really do. Like, I don't know. That's just my feeling on it, but I could be wrong.
The other night against Washington, Harden plays 38 minutes, 8
Yeah.
of 17, 2 of 6 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line, 7 rebounds, 17 dimes. 17
he's
dimes.
playmaking. I'm not saying he's not playing
2
well.
steals, 23 points. Maxey has 28 points, right? Like, and obviously Joel Embiid didn't play in that game. But you got 12 from George Niang. I mean, the problem on that team, in my opinion, is that Tobias Harris is the highest paid player. But they're better, in my opinion, than they're a 500 team right now. They're better than Brooklyn. I think the Sixers right now are a better team than Brooklyn. I don't know that the standings matter at all right now. I mean, Brooklyn's 2-6.
Yeah,
they're better than 2-6, and I think with a new coach, they'll get that figured out. But my point is, I think Brooklyn's probably is going to finish behind Philly. I think Philly will have the least favorable pick.
Yeah.
So
probably.
my guess is the Jazz will wind up with Philly's pick there.
Probably.
So you're looking at 3 picks that aren't great. You're looking at bottom half of the first round for those 3 picks.
Yeah.
Right? Then you look at 2024, they own their own pick that's top 10 protected. 2025, they have 3, their own pick, Cleveland and Minnesota. In 2025, how good is Cleveland and Minnesota's picks?
Pretty good. Or no, those two are not going to be
not going to be good picks at all.
Really good teams.
Yeah, Minnesota and Cleveland are going to be good teams, so they'll be at the bottom. 2026, they own their own top 8 protected or a swap with Minnesota or Cleveland. Like, my point is, you don't have these picks that are going to put you in Victor Wembanyama's zip code.
Well, but the insecurity is that you also don't have picks that other teams are going to want to trade for.
I think that's absolutely
that's
a reality.
That's a big concern.
But that's why I'm saying I would be at the deadline. I would be trading and packaging, and in this summer, I'd be trading for a superstar and moving those picks.
Yeah.
Because I think the value of your picks
I hope so.
is going to go down as time goes on.
Here's what's going to happen, Tonto.
You want the Lakers pick in 2025.
Yeah.
That's whose pick you want. You know, like that's why. But this is why I keep saying not trading with the Lakers was a mistake for Bojan and Beasley.
Yeah.
You should have traded Bojan and Beasley, and you should have gotten their first round pick.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
There's value in that pick, in my opinion. But what do I know, right? All right. Your comments. Caleb Harrison says, that's awesome. Y'all are doing that. We're trying, Caleb. I'm calling it now. Utah is going to beat Luka Fat Doncic tonight.
And it's not ass. It's
Fat air. You don't have, Josh Lovern says, fun space trivia. 63 Earths can fit inside Uranus. One day, maybe I would read this without laughing.
Okay.
That, I mean, the mass that can fit in Uranus. Josh, that sounds like that's HIPAA. I don't know though.
It could be.
Who do you trade for if you trade JC? Well, I mean,
that question's incredibly difficult to answer because you don't know who's calling.
It is an impossible answer.
Like, I mean, I can say, I want to go get Terry Rozier or LeBron or KD, but
it's an impossible answer.
There's no way to answer that.
I mean, I would make a trade with LA for I just would. That's who I'd be trading for. I mean, I look at their situation and I look at their future picks, and they only have those 2, and I'd be trying to get them.
Yeah,
I'd be trying to get them. I don't see any route to the Jazz getting Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson.
Yeah,
I see no route for that. I just don't. Cody Strickland says, "What's your prediction tonight? Jazz win or lose?" I'm going with the Mavs.
Yeah, I like the Jazz in this game. We're different on this. I think the Jazz will outwork Luka.
I think it's going to be close. I mean, the number's 221 on the game. So if you look at 221, I mean, that's only 110 and a half each. Yeah. I'd probably be on the Mavericks in that situation. I mean, the only thing that I can see is that Luka always gets his, right? But the question is, can you stop a secondary Mavs player from going from wilding on you? That's what I worry about Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, he's healthy. He's shooting really well. That's the guy that I worry about. You should be able to contend with everybody else. I think Vando, I mean, there's a bunch of dudes on this team that I think could check Luka. Luka's going to score 30. Who else is going to score for them?
Yeah.
That's the biggest question.
Totally agree.
Because this Jazz team's been a grinder defensively.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the safe way on the surface is to go with Dallas, but I think when you start, if you dig into this a little bit and you think about how the Jazz win games, they're beating teams that can get up and down, which means that against a team that's slower, they really should have success. They should be able to play defense and get out and run. They're rested as well. This is not a back-to-back. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you really should have everybody available tonight.
Yep, I agree. The biggest stories in sports every single morning on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you get by Quick Quack Car Wash. And again, I just keep saying it because it's the one I go to. But the Quick Quack at the District, grand opening is November 16th. Their top-tier car wash is free that day, so make sure you check them out at Quick Quack Car Wash.
Play-Doh? I have no idea. Lipstick? Apparently my car door looked like a canvas. Quick Quack! It's my saving grace. No one else needs to know the madness of my journey. It's me.
Here you go. Quick Quack Car Wash brings you the biggest stories in sports every morning on the show. Appreciate them. Appreciate you guys. I think, clearly this Jazz conversation is a big one. Neville93, good to see you, my friend. He says, nice to see you guys. Neville, thanks for coming by. Good to see you, friend. Kenai Johnson, 121-116, Jazz by 5 with Luka crying. With Luka crying. What's up? Good to see you.
I mean, the Jazz are usually good for 120 a night. They have been. I know it's early in the season, but that's where they've been.
You think you're scoring 120?
Yeah, because I don't think the Mavs are good defensively. I think the Mavs are good offensively. Your point about Hardaway is well taken, but I'm not going to sit here and give credit to a team who is not great defensively. They're not. And I don't know what their defensive rating is, but just watching them and knowing this roster, like, I know they're not a great defensive team. They never have been. And so to me, it's like, all right, yeah, sure, Luka probably has 30. Hardaway's probably got 25. But after that, there's a major fall-off. Like, you don't have to deal with Brunson anymore. You don't have to deal with anybody who's really difficult outside of Luka. Like, even Hardaway can be handled on some nights. So,
yeah, 120 points against Dallas would be phenomenal.
I'm telling you, they're going to do it.
All right, if the number's 221, I would probably be on the over because both teams have scored a lot. And I have to think Lauri Markkanen's probably, if the Jazz win, Lauri Markkanen's going to have to match Luka.
Don't be surprised if the Jazz have 55 at the half. Don't be surprised. This game will be high scoring. They will try to get out and run against this team.
I'm going to say one, that's not bad, Kenai. 121-116 is not a bad. I would just flip that and say Mavs. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Mavs.
Okay.
I think that's where I'm at. That's my thing.
It's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Greg Hawkins says, about to go into the new job. Wish me luck, fam.
Oh,
wow.
What's your new job,
What's your new job, dude?
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, wow, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear you got a new job. That's awesome. Brett Burnett says, looked out the window. We got snow. Let's go.
Oh, did we? Dude,
let's go. Sick. I'm ready for some snow. You realize Mammoth is open in a week, and now I know you're in this committed relationship, so you won't be able to go.
It's not true.
But it's going to be amazing.
It's not true.
Can't wait to take the roadie. Jazz is bigger and faster. Easy win for the Jazz. No Rudy Gobert. RUDIE. Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, I don't think so. Good luck on the new job, Greg. Travis Bird says, thank you for the Powerball ticket. You made Big Daddy yummy, yummy, happy top guy. Big Daddy yummy, yummy.
Bro.
Come on now. Tanner says, SLC is starting to get a little snow. Let's go. Court McGee says, on my way, boys. All right, let's do it. Hey, Arlington Bears.
Let's go,
what's up?
Baby. He came through.
He rolled in with the...
did we decide if it was Betos or Betos?
It's Betos. I think it's Betos. There's no doubt it's Betos.
Dude, bro is clutch.
Teddy Wayman says 124-120. Utah takes it.
I'm with you, Teddy.
Good luck with the job, Greg Hawkins, Kenai Johnson says. 2 picks for JC. Bummer, but probably do it. You would. You would have to.
You have to. I mean, if you're getting 2 first rounders, you got to move them.
Good luck, Greg. Model Wells, Damon says. Yeah, Greg, now I need to know what you're doing. Cody Strickland says, it's amazing you guys said that this team would score a lot, but our defense will be bad. But now we know they can defend. Team looks really good. Yeah, I think we're all surprised by their defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem saying I was wrong about their defense.
Yeah.
I think that nobody expected them to be this good defensively. And I think that we knew that they would have length, but I think having length and playing good defense is two different things. So the fact that they're playing good team defense is really awesome.
By the way, I just noticed Chris Karn texted me.
Oh.
Because he was driving behind the Wayman Brothers construction truck. How awesome is that? Our good friends at Wayman Brothers Construction. Hey, man, I'm telling you, you need a contractor. Wayman Brothers Construction's where it's at. 801-654-1028. Wayman Brothers, it was just such a pleasure to deal with. But good to see. I hope they're busy. I'm hoping that, they're busy all the time because you guys, I'm telling you, and it's not just because they built this studio. Like, we've had them work at our house. Like,
they've done a lot.
And our guy, Teddy Wayman's a great tile guy. He's going to eventually have to redo my shower because I was dumb when I first moved back here and didn't hire Wayman Brothers.
Casual.
That was probably not smart, but yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Tanner says, even though I think Luka's mom isn't hot, I can't deny the fact that the lady who plays Stifler's mom is a knockout.
Well,
where do you come up with this stuff, dude? Stifler's mom is a knockout.
Yeah, dude.
I love that. I haven't seen that movie in American Pie. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Long time.
Tanner made it on TV with the Jazz recently, or somebody with the same name. Tanner Plummer, were you on TV?
Yeah, did they say Super Soaker was in the building?
Is that true? Wow. We need Walker Kessler back. He will help going up against Christian Wood. I would agree.
Yeah.
I want to see Fontecchio. I want to see some of these other guys. I'm really excited for the Jazz. By the way, I don't know if we're giving away trade secret here. I don't think we are. Being at the Maverick Center, we see all the work they're doing in the bowl.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oh, my God.
It's incredible.
So the south end of the arena inside the bowl here, the south end is now torn out. It's all the scoreboards are gone. All of the video screens are gone.
Yes.
All these new video boards they're putting up at the Maverick Center.
Epic.
And the Salt Lake Stars start playing in a week and a half, I think.
Something like that. I don't
Something
remember the
like
exact
that.
date.
I think the Grizzlies play on the 17th. And then I think right after that, the Stars play.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing in here. The Salt Lake Stars are going to explode. I do. I'll be interested to see how all that plays out. But in all seriousness, this building's going to be amazing. It is truly going to be. It is truly good. Does anybody follow the Stars? Do you guys follow the Salt Lake Stars? Skyblocker needs to come back soon. Who's Skyblocker? Should I know that name?
Yeah.
Is the main Jumbotron going to be working soon? It's working now, Rhett. Yesterday we were watching them.
Yeah, they were programming it.
And all 4 of the screens work. So they've got that all set up.
The ribbon board's coming as well.
Yeah, it's super stoked about that. Jazz played European-style basketball. It's more passing and defense. Yeah, they do now. Yeah. Absolutely they do. But, yeah, I'm really excited for the building. It's a great time to be at Maverick Center. I mean, I think I think it's fantastic. Raphael says, I follow the SLC Stars.
Yeah, dude.
I'm stoked. We're trying to do some stuff with them to promote them and sell tickets for them. And we would love to do that. Woods is dealing with an illness questionable for tonight's game.
Christian Wood
is dealing with an illness. Well, that would help. That would absolutely help.
Yeah.
Tanner says, I follow the Stars, .. on Twitter.
Well, I think the thing with the Stars, and I know we got to get out of here, but the thing with the Stars is that they were playing at a community college. With all due respect, I think the G League needs to continue to develop and grow its footprint, and I think the Maverick Center is a great home for it. I really do. I think that you have to initially. Who knows how many people will come out to watch the games, but I think you have to just take that first step and get into an actual venue, an arena where people can come and watch you and feel like you're an actual brand. And so I think it's great for the Stars. I think it's great for the Mav itself.
I think it's great for Vivint Arena because Vivint got a huge upgrade, which is why all these scoreboards are here. All these video boards are here because the Stars are moving in, and if this building is part of the Olympic pitch, I mean, the next 5, 6, 7 years in this town are going to be crazy for sports.
Yes.
They're absolutely going to be crazy for sports. Okay, so We are giving away Powerball tickets, and we will be here for a few more minutes. We'll probably be around the building till 9:30 today. We have, I don't know how many tickets Mrs. Monty has left, but come on by. What's the first thing you buy for yourself? What is the first thing you do for yourself?
A house, real estate.
That's the first thing you're doing.
That's the first thing I would get. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
What's the first thing I would do?
I would you know what I'd probably do? I get land and build a house. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just buy a house. I'd like build a house, custom house, the way I'd want it, you know.
I don't know. The first thing I would do.
I'm so sick and tired of renting, bro. It's terrible.
Why? What is the issue?
It's just an ass kicking. I'm paying like 17 and a half for a 1-bedroom. Like, it's terrible.
It is terrible.
It is an absolute ass kicker.
But again, I know I don't even bring this up to be a jerk this time, but it's true. This is why you have to find a life partner.
Yeah.
You have to find somebody.
I think there's a lot more to it than everybody knows about, is what I would say.
What do you mean?
There's to the situation and what's happening. And I agree, you have to find a life partner. You have to find someone who supports you and is willing to be accountable to things and willing to...
But somebody who can financially be a partner.
Yeah.
I think you have to find somebody that's financially like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're conservative financially, but your partner is a lot more open to spending, that's a terrible match. You need to find somebody that is like-minded like you. And I think you need to find somebody that is a career person, somebody that will support you being an entrepreneur, somebody that you can invest and build your real estate portfolio with, because I'm a huge believer that that's the way you get generational wealth.
Yeah.
I think that, to me anyway, I think the person you choose to do life with is huge. It's huge. Josh Lovern says, pay less than that to own a home in Seattle. That's true. Talking with Raphael says, buy a house for sure after taking care of all my bills. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt about it. I would buy a new car every time I ran out of gas, Fat Jesus says. I think I would buy multiple pieces of real estate. I think I would buy income generating property. I would buy myself a condo in Park City. I would buy myself a home in Huntington Beach. And I would not change much else about my life. I live in a pretty conservative townhouse now. I probably wouldn't move to like a 5,000 square foot mansion.
Yeah.
Did you hear Russell Westbrook bought the house across the street from LeBron James?
But you were saying it only has a 2-car garage.
So, and Russell Westbrook bought, I think it's a 15,000 square foot lot, a 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
With a 2-car garage. And the funny thing is, it used to have a 10-car garage. That's right. I said a 10-car garage.
Yeah.
But the issue is the previous owner, who was also a celebrity, knocked out the 10-car garage to build office space and high-end dry cleaning and laundry facilities for the house.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
It is, he paid $33.5 million. He bought it from Petra Ecclestone, the billionaire heiress of the former F1 chief.
Yeah.
Right? The house is a 13,500 square foot home, 8 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, a 2-car garage. 8 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, in a 2-car garage.
What are you doing?
How do you only have a 2-car garage in an 8-bedroom home?
Bro, that is, no.
You could build more for certain. But a 2-car garage? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, you're an idiot.
What are you going to do with a 2-car garage?
Yeah, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
That's crazy to me. Somebody gave us a $100 bill.
What's happening now?
What happened now? Who did? Did he really? Chris Karn's a stud, dude. Wow, that's awesome.
I think we're approaching $200 now for the fund.
Yeah, we've got about $200 for our Thanksgiving fund.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. You guys are amazing. The way you support this show, guys like Chris Karn, I can't say enough about guys. Like he literally brought us Beto's burritos.
Yeah, that's really nice
for
of him.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Drove all the way up here to get a Powerball ticket, brought us Beto's burritos, and gave us a $100 bill.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Chris, you're amazing. Thank you, Arlington Bears. I appreciate you. Yeah, but I think the first thing I would do is I would grow my real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit down? Mrs. Monty's not well. She wants to go home. Go home. You can go home. It's all good. Yeah, we got to wrap soon anyways. But I think the first thing I would do is I would buy into my real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd pay off the house. If I won, I would buy you a house. I would buy. I don't think I would pay. There's not many people in my life who need money.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't know what I would do for friends and family. I wouldn't tell everybody that I won. I would try to keep it secret.
Yeah.
But I would definitely buy real estate. I would upgrade my car. I have a nice car.
For
I have
sure.
an Audi.
Yeah.
But I would be driving a Cayenne GT3, probably GTS. And the other thing I would do is I would probably buy into a private jet conglomerate so that I could fly anywhere I want private.
Yeah. Totally
567 million, I could do that. Fat Jesus gave us $20. Thank
Appreciate
you
that,
so
man.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what we're doing with this is we are taking that all of the money that you used to tip us is going into our holiday fund, and we are going to provide Thanksgiving and Christmas for families. We need you to nominate them.
Yeah.
And we are doing some community outreach to try and find a kid to sponsor for Christmas. But if you know of a family that needs help, and I've gotten a ton of them, let's help as many people as we can. DM me on Twitter, The Monty Show, on Instagram, The Monty Show. DM me your story. I'm happy to talk with you. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and then we'll pick as many as our money will take us. And we would really love to work with you guys. So please do not hesitate. Hook it up. And any money that you guys tip us, we will use for that. Because you guys do such a good job taking care of the show. We want to get back, and that is clearly the best way to get back.
Yeah.
Is to help you guys out at the holidays if you need it. If you know your friends, your family, your neighbors, people you go to church with, hook it up. DM me The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. Thank you, Fat Jesus. Appreciate that. Make sure you hook it up with our friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Tell everybody you heard about it on The Monty Show. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.